Hey! You are listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Got to take care of a few things before we jump into this week's episode. First, our Ramping Isometrics for BJJ program. It is a 12-week program, all laid out for you. It's going to help you build strength and cardio in the fastest, safest, and most convenient way possible. This is how James and I have been training for the past year, and we love it. So we put this program together so you can just follow along, and we are certain you will see and feel the benefits that we do. It's only $15. Just go to grumpyguybjj.com, click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll find it. Next, R3. This is our K2 D3 supplement. It is a combination of those two vitamins, D3 and K2. These are two vitamins that James and I have been taking for a long time that really help us recover from hard training sessions. And for only $15 with free shipping, you get a whole month's supply. I was going to pull up some studies explaining the benefits of D3 and K2, but I'm not going to insult your intelligence and pretend to be a fucking scientist. I take it. It helps me recover. That's it. So for $15, check it out. And last but certainly not least, we have partnered up with Jiu-Jitsu.com. They have a ton of awesome BJJ instructionals, and they have hooked us up with a discount code for our listeners. It's Grumpy10. So what you got to do is you go to Jiu-Jitsu.com, which is DIGITSU.com. Find the instructionals you want, throw them in a shopping cart. In the little discount code box, you type in Grumpy10, which is just GRUMPY and the number 10, 10. That's it, no spaces. Boom, you get 10% off. You're up and running. They got a nice app you can download on your phone. That way you can take your instructionals right to the gym with you, watch the technique, drill it. It's a pretty sweet setup. So once again, DIGITSU.com. Discount code Grumpy10, GRUMPY10. Simple as that. To find all this stuff I just got done talking about, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com. Click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. There, you'll subscribe to our newsletter for podcast updates. You'll find links for the Ramping Isos program, the R3 Recovery Supplement, and then under the Programs and Products tab, you'll find a link to Jiu-Jitsu.com. And let's be honest, if you guys can't figure out how to navigate a website by now, there's nothing I can do to help you. So quit fucking around. Check it out, train hard, and let's get into this week's episode. Yo, what's up, everybody? In this week's episode, we got a chance to sit down and talk with our coach and good friend, Kevin Lewis. Kevin started training jiu-jitsu back in 2000, received his black belt in 2009 under Mark Hagebusch. Eventually, he found his way out here to Colorado, started Grand Valley BJJ in 2013, and now here we are. You know, as much shit as we talk about Kevin, we really do have much love and respect for him, not only as a coach, but as a great friend. We were pumped to have the opportunity to have him on the podcast, so hope you guys like it. Enjoy. Boom.
And we're back.
We are live.
So
we are sort of live.
This is it.
This is it.
So, momentous podcast for us as Aka takes out a bunch of fucking Lego figures here. We've got 1 year anniversary.
Episode 52.
Episode 52. This
Done
is
this
it,
shit
man.
for 52 fucking weeks in a row.
That's crazy. I was thinking about that. It was a year ago. And we finally have our first guest.
First guest.
Yes.
The infamous.
The infamous.
He's a real person. We didn't make him up.
That's right.
Not at all. Not at all.
Kevin Lewis. And as you got, yeah, he's not only a real person. You'll find out we haven't exaggerated him at all either. So, all right. Well, welcome to the podcast, Kevin.
Thank you.
Our first official guest.
Yeah. So
I don't know how this is gonna work.
Nah.
I plan on doing like I'm gonna record an intro so we don't have to fucking go through the whole rigmarole of who the fuck you are and all that good shit.
Okay.
So,
but yeah.
So we'll be up by the time everybody's listening to this part of the podcast. I'll already have told them who the fuck you are.
What are you gonna tell them?
I don't know.
What should we tell them?
Let's see how this podcast goes.
Is this recording right now?
Yeah,
dude, we are.
What do you do? You copy and paste it?
No,
yeah, I can. I'll just take this audio file when we're done, and then I can record whatever I want. Yeah, and I just patch them together on this software.
Oh, okay.
That's how I put Z's intro in every week in the outro. I didn't realize I took Z out of the outro.
You just haven't put the outro on.
Dude, he was pissed.
He was pissed.
Dude,
it is very concerned for Gina. Like, I don't think you understand.
For Gina?
Yes.
The rap song?
Yes.
Because what I did I'm pretty sure I did it right this week to where I put him in the intro and I put him in the outro and I eliminated the rap music.
Yeah, well, he
But
may talk to you about that. I'm not sure.
But I think you're right. Like I think I forgot to put him in the outro past the week or two. For some reason I just forgot to fucking tag it on the end.
Yeah.
He did the whole time yesterday. He was like, you took me out of the outro? Angina. I didn't hear it. It's been forever since I heard it.
Yeah.
What he said.
I'll put it back in.
He wants the rap music.
I'll put the rap music back in for Z.
It was funny, man. Yeah. It was like, all right, we'll talk to Rob about you getting back on the outro. And Gina. What about Gina? It's like, all right, buddy. All right. We'll get Gina taken care of.
I'll make sure it's back on.
That's right.
And
So.
you just can't put whatever you want on here because copyright shit, right?
Well, I don't think we're big enough to worry about that. Yeah, I mean, technically,
So that's
yes.
a Gucci flip-flops?
Yeah. Did you hear his part of that song like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
I put that in the intro, the Gucci flip-flop song.
And they heard it. And...
No. Well...
No. We're just saying, like, we're not big enough. No one gives a fuck.
If we posted it to you, we didn't get kicked off YouTube. Well, we haven't been putting them on YouTube, right?
Mm-mm.
Because we kept getting fucking kicked off YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we were to upload it to YouTube, they'd probably... They'd at least kick us off YouTube anyways. Because people are monetizing on that shit.
They have to care.
They have to care, but...
I had a video that I posted to Facebook, and they emailed me, and they're like, you're using copyrighted materials and all this shit. And I was playing music. It was a workout, I was doing like a Mace video, and I had Beastie Boys playing in the background, and they're all like, we have, muting it, and, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
like,
they done that on a live feed when I was doing live feeding open mat. And something started. I think it's like Rolling Stone started playing, and then it come through like when I was redoing or something. Said, "Oh, this has been muted because you're playing."
And they know what it is, dude. That was like the scary thing. They're like, "You got Beastie Boys Intergalactic playing," and I was like, I had to go back and listen to it, and I was like, "Well, I guess I fucking did." But like they knew exactly what song it was, and they're like, "And this is copyrighted."
If you give the artist credit, can you still do it?
No.
If you're not, if you're not monetizing your video?
I have no idea, man. You're just talking. Can you? I mean, what are the laws? Like they're making it up as they go, really.
Right? Is it you or Facebook?
YouTube
or YouTube that
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live took yours off.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't
YouTube
take it off.
and
They just mute part of the video, so the video will still play.
Oh, there's your video playing.
Yeah, they just won't allow the audio.
Oh, I thought they just like nixed your whole video.
No.
Because YouTube will fuck you. YouTube will just take the whole thing down.
Yeah,
they
and
don't
then
care.
accuse you of stuff.
Yeah.
As we found out.
Yeah, they didn't like us for some goddamn reason.
Yeah, I don't know. No, man, I don't know. We kept trying to put our first videos on YouTube, and they kept like, your video has been pulled for, I don't even remember, man. It was ridiculous. Like the list of reasons they gave us.
Unwarranted,
that was it. It was repetitive
and
unwanted
material
or something
Really?
like that.
Yeah.
We were like, what the fuck are you talking about? It made us question ourselves, because this is like episode 1 or 2. We're still in the
unwanted and repetitive.
Well,
our ridiculous conversation.
but then we would appeal it, and then they would allow it, and then the next week the same thing would happen, and then the next week the same thing would happen, and it's like, what is going on here?
Yeah, so we just stopped. We just unclicked the YouTube button on when we posted and just said fuck it.
Yeah, what's the algorithm behind this shit?
We got stuck in
I guarantee if you were paying to put it on there, they wouldn't pull nothing.
Yep, I'm sure.
Probably.
Bastards want the fucking money.
They do. Everybody wants their money, man. So, anyways. Yeah, that's how it works. We're just going to post this recording, this MP3 file here to the interwebs.
That's it. You're seeing the magic.
Famous. It's kind of like porn.
Kind of.
Boom operator and everything.
There is. We got a professional mic. We got the bald, sweaty dude in the corner.
Weird. Yeah. Speaking of that, have you watched that new show, Big Mouth, on Netflix?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Is it any
you guys
good?
Are missing out. Great fucking show.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
It is super ridiculous. Fantastically hilarious.
Huh.
It's about like junior high age kids, and going through all their awkward puberty, adolescent shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's fucking fantastic. They nail it right on the head what it's like to be an awkward teenager.
Huh.
This kid's got this hormone monster, whenever he starts getting a hard on, the hormone monster pops up and tries to talk him into jerking off. So he'll be sitting in class and he'll start getting a hard on, and the hormone monster like comes out of his desk like, "Come on, just go to the bathroom."
That thing never leaves.
Yeah, the hormone monster. It's fucking hilarious, dude. The cartoon is so funny, man.
I'm bored now. I'll just go check off.
Yeah. No, I've not seen that one yet.
You gotta watch it.
I'll put it on the list.
It's a great show.
Hormone monster.
We've been watching What Not to Wear.
What is that?
Oh my god.
What the fuck is that?
You know what it is.
What is it?
If you've lived with girls in cable television, at some point you've watched this show.
It's so terrible I don't even remember. It's like
it's basically it's
a makeover show, isn't it?
It's basically like Extreme Makeover People Edition. And
Why are you watching this?
Because I have kids and
kids. I mean, I can see maybe Shiloh liking it.
It's interesting in some weird way. I come in and play Far Cry Primal and fucking stab people with spears and shit. Sick my saber tooth on them. So, but no, they find these people who dress ridiculously, and then they give them money. They basically make fun of them for a while, and then give them a bunch of money and some rules to dress like an adult, and then some shopping, and then they have a makeover portion, and so
sounds fucking terrible.
It's not the most terrible thing. I've seen more terrible things.
What?
Like what?
I can't remember at that moment because I don't watch them.
What exactly?
But
there can't be much more terrible than that.
Oh, dude! If I really thought about it, I'm sure there's things that I've shoved in the fucking vault that I've watched before. With Kiel, I used to watch soap operas. We watched like Days of Our Lives or one of those. She was into that for a bit.
She was into that?
Yeah.
I can't see
when we first got together, man.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we first met, dude. She was 21. I mean, she was good.
We watched that.
Did you?
You heard that one guy who
Your soaps.
He was like 15 different actors played this one damn guy.
Daytime television, yeah. And you had one dude who kept coming back from the dead, Victor, or whatever his name was. Just over and over.
I'll tell you his fucking name. Victor Kiriakis.
Yes.
Are you guys serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Google it right now, dude.
I mean, I will say it's probably like, in the South, dude, I remember growing up, like my grandma and my mom watched that shit for sure.
Dude, they believed all that shit was real.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Pro wrestling, that shit was real. Von Erich's come around.
Yeah. The pro wrestling and your soap
grandma
operas.
Get mad. Scandal Akbar and then beat him up. It's like, it's fake.
Yeah.
They whooped them. They just not right. They should call the police. It's like, Jesus.
Breaking the rules. Pulling the chairs out. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, the whole time soaps. But yeah, when I first got with Kelly, so we watched some soaps for a while.
Man.
And
that disappoints me that Kelly was getting into that.
Well,
I really didn't think she'd ever
she was a gangster thug at a point too.
It happens. Yeah. She was jacking cars.
She was jacking cars. The
Hawaiian Hurricane. You haven't heard the story?
No.
Oh my God.
Newports and
please tell me the story.
I mean, she had a friend.
It's a friend's fault.
Well, that's the story I've gotten. I'm sure the friend's like, I had a friend. But, so anyways, her and a friend, they would hang out, and they weren't necessarily the best influence on each other. So they stole her mom's car, basically.
Mom's car?
No, her friend's car. Julie was her friend, and still is her friend. And but yeah, so they basically jacked her mom's car and took it out for a night.
Ride?
And I think they wrecked it or something, or I don't know. They ran over a rock and fucked up something and tried to park it and just pretend that nothing happened. And you know how.
So it wasn't quite like stealing the car. The keys were in.
Well, you know my wife though. So for her, that's pretty much the fucking equivalent.
That's close.
That's pretty close, man. To just jacking a car. And so yeah, that was she lived a life on the edge in Hawaiian style for a bit.
Newport cigarettes.
Yeah, man.
I remember I did a
cloves. Sorry, cloves.
Cloves.
She corrects me every time I mess with her. It was cloves.
Oh, okay.
Not Newports.
That's right.
I guess there's a difference.
Is there a difference?
There is a difference. Cloves are terrible.
I
I think
Newports are barely tolerable.
I remember buying like single Newports, 25 cents.
Yeah.
Down in the hood.
Dude, I couldn't stand them. Like the menthols were like, if I fucking had to, I'd have to be really drunk.
I went through a little phase where I was smoking the menthols.
Did you?
I've done a lot of shit in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette. Never did tobacco or anything.
You've never even just smoked a cigarette?
Never.
Never.
Have you ever tried one? Hit one?
No.
Get out of here. Serious?
Wow.
Yeah,
I smoked cigarettes.
Just like
I got into fucking partying when I was like 15, 16, like doing a lot of stupid shit. And I was fucking smoking cigarettes regularly up until like the age of 20, 21.
Huh.
Pretty
never
fucking
done.
regular.
Smoked a lot of weed and stuff, but never cigarettes.
Really?
Yeah. I never smoked regularly. And I smoked, it was basically, like partying. Like, it was my Blue Steel period.
God, I bet you were smoking Virginia Slim.
Where you smoking Virginia
You
Slim?
motherfucker.
Italian model.
That's how you can
smoking
tell.
Virginia Slims.
That's how you can tell. No, man. No, you would find the fucking Arab dudes with the Marlboro Lights. They'd have the fucking, like the bootleg Marlboro Lights. You just buy them on the street corner. And, but I never, like, it would be like you're waiting around in an office. It was a hurry up and wait thing, man. You'd fucking be like, I gotta be somewhere, blah, blah, blah. You get there, and then you're sitting around, and everybody else is smoking a cigarette, so it's like, all right, whatever. You're out drinking, but yeah, I never was like home alone, like smoking a cigarette. But I had a little period, but that was it.
And both my
Natural
parents were
spirits,
smokers.
man. Those are good. Yeah.
My grandparents were.
And you never, no?
Yeah, my grandfather smoked.
I remember the first time I drank a beer. I remember watching my dad was out there mowing the yard. And go out there and he had some old Milwaukee in a red can. He's like, can I have some? Go ahead, boy. I drink it, threw it right up. And like,
how old were you?
Let's see, probably 11.
So
Yeah.
right.
He told me, he said, take a big old drink.
Big one.
You ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, take a big old drink.
Yeah.
And he said, now go give me another one. I was like, all right.
That's how you gotta
old
do it.
Milwaukee, the beast.
Old Milwaukee.
I forget. Shiloh's she's tasted beer and wine. She doesn't like it, which is
No
good.
kid does.
Yeah,
That's what
no,
I want.
Maddox has to, and she don't.
Yeah.
You know, nobody does. The first time you drink beer, you don't
Nobody
like it.
does, yeah. But as long as the thing is though, is when it's this thing.
Yeah, it becomes a thing.
The thing, right? Yeah. Like I grew up in like a super religious household, so like beer and alcohol and all that shit was like the devil, and so you know, as a kid, you want to fucking see what the devil's all about. Like, is it really that bad? And then you try it, and you're like, wait a minute, like, this ain't that bad. And anyways, then you start questioning all sorts of shit. And then you take mushrooms, and then you're talking to trees, and you're like, what the fuck? Been lied to since I was a kid about a lot of shit, man.
Dude, I remember there was this drive-through party store we go down to in the hood, and they sell to us. And we go down there and buy 40s of King Cobra for like 79 cents. And when you're 16 years old, you know, weighing 120 pounds, a 40 can malt liquor will fuck you up.
Yeah.
For 79 cents, man, you'd be all fucked up. That was the jam right there. Those things were so terrible.
Yeah.
You don't want to drink too many of them things.
Well, they would in Louisiana. The drinking age limit was 17, and so we were only 45 minutes from the border. So 17 years old, high school, drive down, hit the Louisiana line, and get frozen daiquiris, liquid cocaine, and
hurricane.
Stuff. Yeah, hurricanes and shit. And then drive back to Texarkana, and they'd be like, "We can't drink and drive," so they put like a strip of scotch tape on top of the straw and bend it over, and says, "Now, if you get stopped, don't let the police see that tape's been off, because then you'll get in trouble, so keep the tape on it." And you're like, dude, by the time we get back to Texarkana, we'll be so fucking lit. Just like, no 17-year-old kid needed to be down there doing that shit.
No.
Oh, well, it's the norm.
That's
It
what
was in.
The drinking age was 19 in Canada. And we could be where I was in Michigan, you could be in Canada in a 45-minute drive. And so we used to fucking cruise over the border to Canada at the age of 19.
You guys had it easy, man. I was stuck in California, like, hitting up dudes going into the liquor store, like, hey, man, get us a 6-pack, bro.
I'll buy
Keep the
you Mad Dog
change.
2020 if you do it.
Yeah, something. So, yeah, I remember we'd fucking get a 6-pack of beer and play Nintendo games and drink fucking beer in my room. Sneaking in through the window. My mom eventually caught on to us, so.
We'd eat mini thins and play video games all
Mini
night.
thins. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
I forgot about
dude.
those. Can you still get those? Do they have them at the gas
No,
stations?
no, because of the ephedrine laws and the methamphetamine production.
They were just straight ephedra.
Dude, that shit would.
I
We'd do that.
remember
We'd be playing Madden or Tecmo Bowl or something like that. Someone would be over there doing
Curls in the corner, yeah.
And then we'd be playing Madden. We rotate another one. We'd be doing curls the whole time. Dude.
Junior
Sweating our asses,
tweakers, buddy.
scratching our heads because of the tingling and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that shit was so bad.
Oh, man.
I can picture that. I remember doing the exact same shit. Taking those things and doing curls and bench press for fucking days.
Yeah, dude, that shit.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Truck drivers and bikers ruined that for us.
Fucking Ripped Fuel. Remember that shit?
Rip Fuel.
Ripped
kinda.
Fuel, Twin Labs made it.
Oh, yeah.
That was
a
the
pre-workout one.
ooh, that was the caffeine it was the ECA, ephedrine, caffeine, and aspirin stack. And dude, that shit was legendary. I think it was part of the reason they banned that shit, man. It was like it would get you jacked up, like you'd be like, whoo, heart rate
A lot of
going.
weightlifters still do that shit to cut weight, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that and clenbuterol and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah, natural thing.
But
Jogging and eating, right?
no, it's super effective, and that was like the fucked up thing is like, you know, because remember they had like Fin. Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm.
That was, and then they found out like, oh, this is like really fucking people up. And then you had ephedra. Like, man, that ECA stack was that was legit. Like that stuff really works, and it really helped people lose weight. But there wasn't a drug patent on it. The drug companies couldn't make money on it. And so you had a couple of deaths where people died at parties and they were, you know, they had that shit in their system. And then they were like, oh, it's this deadly party drug and kids are overdosing left and right on ephedra. And they were, you know, as soon as you bring the kids into it, think about the kids, like who's going to argue against that? But really it was that it was super effective and they couldn't fucking control it. And so they had to find something a reason to ban it, you know, just like fucking marijuana. Like whoever ate their baby when they were high, you know, just make up shit,
man.
Right?
What's the difference between pseudoephedrine and demethamphetamine?
Yeah, no, it's
one oxygen atom.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, you know more about.
So when all them crazy ass people are cooking dope, all they're trying to do is remove one oxygen atom using Ajax and baking soda and everything else. But that's it. That's the only difference in them. Yeah. And ephedra is not that far off from ephedrine and pseudoephedrine and all that. So.
No, man. Well, that's the funny thing. Shit like that, like speed, like that's a performance enhancer. Mm-hmm. Like people get all bent out of shape over testosterone and steroids, right. But those are like recovery drugs. Yeah. You know, you don't take a shot of testosterone and half an hour later you're like, you know, jacked.
You're not mowing the yard at 4 in the
right.
morning. Going,
yeah. Right. Yeah. But man, you take 2 minutes, you know.
Mowing the yard at 4 in the morning.
Or you know, like again, like this is a thing that always like.
I've seen it, dude. It's like fuck.
Oh, tweakers, dude! I used to live in Northern California. I spent a summer growing weed up there, and
Humboldt.
It was right outside of that. It was Clear Lake. It was Lake County, and so it was right outside that Emerald Triangle. So it was good because it was basically the same growing conditions, but it didn't have the same heat that the Emerald Triangle had. But dude, you had a culture of growers versus tweakers.
Oh yeah.
And because the tweakers knew, man, like, okay, it's hard, and they would fucking start tweaking, and they would go out, and so when you were planting your crops, like, you knew you have to hide this shit from the tweakers.
Yeah. Tweakers and the deer.
And the deer, right. But it was the tweakers were like really, yeah. But yeah, you were, and you knew, like, when come harvest time, like, you had to. It's fucked up. You were crawling around fucking strapped because you could come across somebody in your patch. Like you could come across a tweaker who's stealing your shit, and they may be fucking strapped. And it's like, I know, man. That was like the only time in my life like I've carried a gun, but like we did. Every time, you know, you're going in the bush, and it's like they're like, here you go, dude. Fucking hand me a 9mm, and it's like you need to be ready to fucking use it. Yeah, exactly. And you're just like. Okay, because it's like, that's what you do.
Was this in the job description?
Not originally. No.
When you hired on?
No. I was living with this guy. He was my roommate as in Italy as when I was doing my modeling thing. He was my Blue Steel partner. And so he's just telling me all these stories about like, man, we're gonna go back and we're gonna grow this weed and we're gonna get all this money and then we're gonna be able to come back over here and we'll have all this money to, you know, do our thing. And so I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that sounds great. And moved there and found out like the job that he said that I was gonna get wasn't there. He fell in love with some chick and like moved in with her, and I ended up like getting pawned off on his younger brother who lived in some fucking trailer on a dirt Indian reservation.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, dude, it was a fucking nightmare. But I was stuck, you know what I mean? Because I'd gotten there, like that was my money to get there, and I'd kind of like gambled it on, you know, getting something out of the season, and then having that money to go to move on. So yeah, I was like, well, this is what it is. Gotta fucking keep on trucking, man. So, but yeah, dude, the tweakers, that was where I got really familiar. You'd be driving around, yeah, you see people at like 3 o'clock in the morning out in their fucking garage, like 3 of them just standing around a car, and you look close enough and you realize they're not really doing shit. They're just all like just tweaking on something, you know? It's like, oh my God, what are these people doing?
I noticed the other day I was driving through Norwood, that little shithole town there, by Telluride. And there's one of the buildings has got a big sign on the side of the building that says, "Do not feed the tweakers."
Yeah, I've seen that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's on the side of that bicycle shop.
Yeah.
That new bike shop they built there.
Yeah.
And it says, "Don't feed the tweakers."
Don't feed the tweakers.
Dude, that town was fucking weird.
Don't do it,
I
man.
delivered, I mean, there's a lot of normal people there, but I've delivered to some, man, I delivered this fat person ramp a while back, you know, and well, I didn't know, I thought it was like a handicap ramp, you know, and a big ass fucking ramp. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I'm taking it to this person's house. And I pull up past their house, and there was 2 people, because I called them ahead of time because it was out in the fucking sticks, man. I was like, where are you guys at? You know, it's not showing up on my GPS. I need some help. And they're like, all right. They gave me directions, like, we'll be out at the end of the driveway. We'll be looking for you. So I had to get cruising down this road, and there's this one normal-sized kid, and I mean, he was fairly obese, and this other kid, I mean, this kid couldn't have been, or maybe early 20s, fat as fuck, like a year or 2 away from not being able to walk. I mean, fucking huge. And he didn't look old. I mean, he did not. He's fucking huge, dude. And he was one of the smaller ones in the family. That's why I was delivering this fucking fat person ramp. Like, dude, it was a weird vibe. You know how you just get the fucking vibe sometimes when you go, they were looking at me like, I don't know if I was a meal or if they were going to throw me in the fucking pit in their basement or something. Fucking put the lotion on.
Breeding spawn.
Fucking weird, dude. There's a whole, because I
think my daughter's pretty.
Yeah, well, I peeked through the front door.
You're just asking for it, man.
Well, dude, curiosity gets you, you know, like, what am I doing? Like, it was weird. Right? Because so the super fat kid and the other kind of fat kid were helping me. And there was this old dude on the porch all hooked up to his oxygen. And he was just kind of barking orders. He didn't really seem like he knew what was going on. And then they had the front door kind of track, and I peek in there, and there's this fucking lady. I mean, like on one of those fucking shows you see that is, you know, like 600 pounds. Just ginormous. And she's in there eating or doing something. I was like, dude, I was like, man, you guys just need to sign here. And I just got the fuck out of there as fast as I could. I was like, here, I was setting this bitch down, closing my truck.
I'm out, yeah. Getting no extra help on this
turning
one.
My tires out of their driveway and shit.
You're stealing their fitness anyways at that point. Dude, they need some.
Yeah. It was weird. Fucking weird scene.
They didn't want to have to walk out there.
No.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty safe. I could outrun them, but I was slightly concerned.
They get a hold of you though, man.
That's what I was a lot smaller than any of them, dude. I was concerned.
You would be like that fucking, those little dudes with that big Russian. Did you see that video ever?
Oh yeah, those 2 guys.
There's 2 dudes trying to get in the fight with the Russian. That big Russian dude. Yeah, he knew. Don't let him take him down. So
he was fucking those dudes up.
He was.
Speaking of getting fucked up, did you see Ben Askren's coming into the UFC?
Yeah.
Is it official?
Yeah, I think so, dude. Like, they made a trade with one FC over in China. They're sending Demetrius Johnson over to 1FC, and Ben Askren's coming over to the UFC.
Johnson will do better over there because there's a lot better fighters, and they appreciate kind of him more than American fans.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Dude, I'm stoked to see that. You know, the thing is, though, like, I don't think it's... Like, your average fan's not going to like watching Ben Askren. He's boring as shit to watch, but...
You can watch him and Khabib wrestle each other.
Yeah, dude. That'd be a good fucking match, dude. He can wrestle like a motherfucker. He ain't never been beat? Ben Askren, no, undefeated. So
I think the last fight he even won was against Aoki. I think he beat Shinji
Aoki, or however you say it. He's good. He was never in the UFC because him and Dana hated each other. Because he talked shit about Dana White.
Yeah.
So finally they brought him over. It's fucking good. It's not good for the average fan, but it's good for people who appreciate wrestling.
Yeah.
I was stoked to see that.
That's funny. I saw that. I was like, how the fuck does that work? Like, how do you trade?
Yeah, first ever in the history.
Or just buy out contracts.
Contracts. Exactly. You know, I don't know if Ben Askren was still under contract. I thought he retired. But Demetrius was under contract. Yeah, and they just say, okay, we'll let you go on his contract but I don't know exactly.
I guess it's a good time because he just lost. Because he's not the champion right now.
Nope.
Demetrius?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He did lose, didn't he? Henry Cejudo?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's right. He lost to Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, that is a good. Yeah, they can't let him go when he's champ. So
they weren't. UFC wasn't even promoting him or anything.
No.
Well, because it doesn't sell tickets, man. For some reason, your average fan doesn't like watching little guys. Which I don't agree with.
Which is interesting, yeah, man.
I like. He was so talented, so skilled, but.
I mean, you look at boxing.
It's the same thing.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like boxing seems to appreciate the smaller dude. I mean, because like
kinda. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you start getting smaller than like the Canelo or Mayweather. Smaller than 147.
Yeah.
143. Like you don't ever hear about them unless you're balls deep in boxing.
But you hear about all the heavyweights.
You hear about the heavyweights
fights.
Yeah.
That's the pinnacle, is the heavyweight.
The heavyweight.
For some reason.
Because it's like watching two superheroes battle it. You know what I mean? It's not. Because I think the average stupid fan sees 225-pound guys. And there's some 250-pound fat fuck sitting on the couch. They're like, oh, I can fuck that dude up. Why do I want to watch that? But then they watch two giants beating the shit out of each other. It's maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I always like the little dudes because they can keep up their pace.
Yeah.
I mean, one, they're not gonna they're not looking for the one blow KO as much because they just don't have the power. And then they can just keep working. Like I don't know. I was like, those little dudes just keep fucking working. Like man, the fight he lost against Cejudo, man, like that was just, dude, both those dudes were just going the fuck at it, man. And it's hard to see a pace like that. Like that's why everybody's like Tony Ferguson, everyone's like, his pace is fucking unreal, and it's like, well, that's like what you see quite a bit at like that smaller weight class because those guys can fucking do it, but
your average fan doesn't like it.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. No,
you're unskilled fan, that doesn't train, doesn't appreciate the skill that it takes to do what they're doing. But on the heavyweight note, that Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight coming up. Yeah, I mean, you don't pay attention to boxing at all.
No.
I'll watch Fury talk shit. That's about it.
Dude, Fury, did you hear him on JRE this week?
No,
He's good to listen to. Yeah. Because after he beat Klitschko, like he went through like a big state of depression, like was trying to kill himself and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
After he won?
After he won, man, beat fucking Klitschko.
Got to the pinnacle.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Fuck,
like,
man, like this is it.
Dude, it's a really good interview to listen to because he was talking about, like, there is no top of the fucking mountain. We've talked about it before. There's no end result that's just gonna. You always pursue it, like I'm gonna win this or I'm gonna get this and everything's gonna be great, but it's not. He said he got to everything. And he's like, well, I set my goal, I achieved it. He's like, I didn't give a fuck about anything.
It's all the same.
It's all the same. He's like, I woke up the next day and life was the goddamn same fucking thing. And he's like, so then I bought a Ferrari. I thought that'd be great. He's like, then I just drove that thing 190 miles an hour. Was gonna run into a bridge. And that's right. Like he was that close. He said he was screaming down this highway at 190, gonna crash it into a bridge. And he heard this voice saying, "Stop, stop!" So then he pulled over, was freaking out, and then. Yeah, but he had ballooned up to 400 fucking pounds, was eating, just like, had given up on life.
Fuck. Yeah.
But he talked to, dude, a big part of that podcast he talked about is, because, I mean, he went to go see a psychiatrist, and because he didn't fight for 2 years, 3 years, and he was deemed, like, psychologically unfit to fight. They wouldn't let him, they yanked his boxing license. Yeah. On top of that, he got popped for cocaine and shit because he was partying, but that's beside the fact.
Right.
Cocaine and alcohol don't help with depression. I'm gonna speculate, but he was like how he got himself help with his depression. Man, is just training. Just being healthy, setting little goals and training. Setting little goals, training. He's like even if you go to the gym and just train a little bit, he's like you feel better. Yeah. He's like you don't have to go and kill yourself every fucking time. But a big part of that podcast was all about that. It's just. He's like, if you treat your body like shit, more than likely your brain, you're gonna feel like shit. And so it was interesting to hear somebody like the heavyweight champion of the world that you think has accomplished everything, and he's like, nah, it doesn't fucking mean anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. You don't hear a lot of guys who are like get to the pinnacle, but I mean, I think it happens a lot more often. You know, maybe not to that degree, but I think there's a lot of people who get to that top thing, and they're like, you know, once I achieve this, like once I become world champ, or once I achieve this, and I don't know. I'm sure like all three of us have had that moment at some point. You have to. And you hope that it comes early, and that it comes like soon enough where you don't get in like, you know, too bad of a funk where you're like, you achieve something, you wake up the next day and you're like, fuck, nothing's changed.
Groundhog's Day.
God damn it. Yeah. And it puts all your other stuff in perspective. But yeah, if you never have that moment, man, it can really fuck you up.
Dude, a lot of what he was saying, man, really resonated with me, because I know like if I go, even if like a week, like I get busy at work and I don't get to train all week, dude, it's super easy for my mind just to slip into this like negative headspace. If I just don't get to go in and like fucking empty that gas tank a little bit, like man, it fucks me up, dude. And I don't know why or what, but it keeps me sane. Like I've talked about it many a times, like training and having that outlet keeps my brain in check. You know, and I don't know how many other people are like that, but hearing him talk about that, I was like, oh, this fucker's being kind of speaking my language.
Yeah.
I think it's good for people to hear somebody at that higher level talk about that. Like, yeah, it's okay. A lot of people are fucked up in the head.
Yeah.
You just got to find a way to manage it, you know?
Yeah. You can fall off the track.
Real easy.
Yeah. Just got to get back on that horse. Yeah. Eventually. So... yeah, no, I'll check that one out.
It's good. Good episode.
I've seen it. I just haven't listened.
He's a funny dude to listen to.
Is he?
Yeah, he's off his fucking rocker a little bit.
Does he say fuck a lot? That's all I want.
Quite a bit. At least
as much as that one lady?
At least as much as we do.
It's gotta be her.
Yeah. That's funny, man. Yeah. No, I just finished the Roseanne Barr interview.
Dude, she's a trip.
She's a trip.
Dude, she's off her rocker.
She's an interesting person.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd say she's off her rocker. Is the weird thing. Like, I don't know that, like, just because you're crazy doesn't mean, like, you're in, you know.
Well, she's not crazy enough to where she needs to be in, like, supervised home.
Yeah.
But she's she's off her rocker, man.
I don't know. I think she sees the world in a way that it's truer than what most people see, and truer than what most people can handle.
What do you, her truth or like
the world
truth?
She just doesn't, like, she just sees through a lot of the bullshit. And for her, it's like, why, you know, she has trouble processing people that don't, you know, like that's where she's like, I just see the world differently, and like I don't understand people that don't see it this way. Like that was what I got from it was, you know, like
I think we're all like that. She just chooses to voice it. They're like,
well, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So then, right then and there, you're deemed. Because I know for a fact, I don't see the world the way other people do.
No,
I'll tell you right now, it's not. It's different.
Yeah,
you know.
But it's good though.
It's good. I mean, all three of us sitting here see the world differently. I mean, there's things we agree on and see the same, but we definitely all, I mean, just from conversations I've had with you guys, you see that, like, your perception of that situation is, like, 100% different than what I saw. You know?
Right.
Like, wait a second. Are we talking about the same shit here? Like,
Yeah.
I guess the more you talk about that, the more fucked up you seem. Maybe. If you just try to fall in the line.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like my grandma always said. It's like calling a freaking spade a spade. You know, I don't know. Just people have trouble with that sometimes. It's like, man, this is what it is. Or another one I always liked is like, you know, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. It's like, fuck. Like, you know, if you're gonna fucking piss on my leg, just be honest with me about it. Don't lie to me about it as well. You know.
While looking at me.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, I ain't peeing on you.
Right. Yeah, and that's
looks like a dick out.
Right, but you can't say it a lot of times, you know? You can't call people on, like, dude.
Speaking of getting pissed on, that happened to a friend of mine in Las Vegas.
Got pissed on?
Yeah, we were at that outside bar. That, you know, the one that's in between those two casinos? Like the, what is it, like the Flamingo and, fuck, I forget what it is. Yeah, but there's that little walkway and they got that outdoor bar.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You guys know
It's
what
in
I'm
front
talking
of where Cameron kicked the dude in the balls.
Yeah,
somewhere around there. Yeah, it's been like it's had a couple iterations. I know. Yeah,
but yeah, I know we're talking about the same thing. But anyways, we were hanging out at the bar, and she's like, she felt something on her leg, and she's like, what is that? Like her leg getting wet, and she turned, and the dude was just standing at the bar, pulled his pecker out, and was fucking pissing right at the bar.
Oh my god, dude.
So she started screaming. The dude got wrestled out of there by the bouncers. But her leg got straight pissed on.
Oh my god,
at the bar.
that's too funny.
It's Vegas, man.
I've seen freaky ass people, dude.
Fuck yeah,
dude. You get fucking drunk and
you
in that environment, you think you're anonymous. You know, it's like
no one's gonna see this.
Yeah,
no
so many people. Fuck it. Yeah,
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. I've seen a dog do that to somebody. Had a fucking dog pee on one of my tourists in Hawaii.
your dog?
No, it wasn't my dog. No. We would all meet at like the tour would end. It was a bike tour, and it would end at this beach. And there was also a horse tour that would end at that beach too. And the horse tour had a fucking dog with them. And we're standing there, and I'm talking to one of the fucking tourists, and the dog runs up, sniffs old boy's leg, and just
lets it go.
Just, gives it a good little squirt. Keeps on going. So the local dude just looks and, he was like, oh, sorry. But the totally like fucking laughing. Like that was pretty funny. Peeing on that Howley's leg. No. Yeah. I was like, that's an interesting one. I don't know what to do about that. Like, besides apologize, you don't really plan on that. No. They don't train you for how to handle that one in the tour guide school. Not that there's a tour guide school. Yeah.
Anyways,
so
should we talk some jiu-jitsu? We are a jiu-jitsu podcast. We have our coach here.
That's right, man. That's right. So we've got some questions.
Let's hear them.
He's got some questions.
You got questions?
No, you got questions.
Well, that was just a lie. I really didn't come in pre-planned with any questions.
You gotta have some question.
I really don't.
No?
No. No. So I don't know. Where do we want to start?
So, well, let's pretend that our new people are listening to us.
Yep.
Right? So that's kind of been the point. That was like the creation of the podcast, right? It was like we've got stuff that we want to be able to point people back to and say, look, all right, new white belt, go listen to this and fucking come back to us because we're tired of repeating the same shit over and over. So I think that might be a good kind of framework to
give us some structure
to work from. Yeah. So just kind of putting that there. But I don't know.
Okay, let's start. So what made you get started in jiu-jitsu? Like, you started doing jiu-jitsu after what year?
2000.
That long ago? Mm-hmm. And why?
I seen a UFC. Just to say, literally the standard answer you get. But then it took a while, and then I think one day I remember looking in the yellow pages, looking for jiu-jitsu, and there was Texarkana jiu-jitsu and judo. And so I called and started doing that. But at that time, I was in like a worst spot in my life. I was getting fucked up all the time and partying and shit. And I was like, I don't know why. Something just had me do it. And I looked and walked in and was hooked right then and there. Walked into it. The gym was at that time was at like a YMCA type thing. Walk in, it was on a basketball court. There's some guys playing basketball on the end. And there was like 3 dudes and some big old baggy white gis on the thin like gymnastic mats laid out on the
like those fold up ones?
Yeah, gymnasium floor, and then proceeded to do 2 hours of class. The whole first hour was nothing but takedowns, and I was getting double legged to death by this guy named James Piggott, who's still a good friend of mine. He quit at about purple belt, but I still talk shit to him all the time. He was good. I owe him a lifetime of ass kickings. So anytime I go to Texarkana, I'm like, you need to come to the gym.
Does he train at all anymore?
He every now and then he'll go in, or I'll get a message. I'm gonna start back training him, but then he doesn't. Oh, you're just a fat fuck. But I try to get them there when I'm there because I whoop shit out of them the whole time now. It's like nonstop. And that was it. I was just hooked. I was like kind of one of them people that was like, I remember getting choked and stuff, and I was like, I don't want this to happen to me. I want to know how to do this. And I just kept going nonstop.
Were you a cop then?
No.
No, you hadn't started being
No, I hadn't. So that was 2000. I started working as a police officer in 05.
Okay.
Yep. So I was already a purple belt, I think, when I started. Like a brand new purple belt when I started as a police officer. So.
Fucking 2000. You've been at that shit for 18 years now?
Next year will be 9 years at black belt.
No shit.
That's damn near as long as I've been training. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I guess you will hit that point, and eventually, you get your black belt 9 years in, and black belt for 9 years.
Yeah.
And black belt as long as you've been training. Huh. Makes you feel a little bit better when you're whooping my ass, I guess. I never really thought about the math before.
Long time. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's been a while. Like, in the longest break I had, I think I took, when I got hired on at the PD, so it's probably like 05, I probably took like 8 months off when Kristen got pregnant with Maddox. And so, yeah, during that time, then I ballooned up. Well, I got up to like 200 pounds.
Shut up.
No shit, dude.
You got pictures of this?
If I could find it, yeah, I might have one. Dude, I was huge.
Were you?
Yeah.
I can't even picture that.
Yep.
I want to see pictures.
Then when I went back to jiu-jitsu again, it was rough because Mark had some people there, that had been training there for a while now that were blue belt stuff and whooping the shit out of me. And I was like, no, this ain't gonna happen for long, damn it.
Dude, that happens. I think that fucks up a lot of people, man. They take that time off, and then they come back and get their ass whooped by people that they were whooping their ass, and they're just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna get back into it.
Yep.
That's why, man. That's when I see people take time off. I mean, unless it's for an injury or something, I try to discourage that so much.
That's a different ego, you let one ego go when you start.
Yep.
And then you get to a point where you're so good, and then if you quit or something and you come back, then you say, you go, well, this is where I should be. This shouldn't be happening. This ain't gonna happen, and then it does, and you're like, you can't take it because it's just like, just that punch in the face, and you're like, shit, I'm gonna run.
It's tough because they always say jiu-jitsu is an ego killer, but you can do it the other way to where it builds that ego too.
It does.
You can just fucking fuel that ego. Just training with people, you can whoop their ass and you can pad that ego a lot. And did you see people do that? And
you'll see. Yeah, I've seen it a bunch in like training, like watching people, and you notice one person will gravitate towards this person they can beat on the whole time. And it's like, let's go. You're gonna go over here. You're gonna go with me. You're not allowed to go with them anymore. So, and that's what that is.
That's a tough pill to swallow for people, though.
Yeah, it's that fear that they don't want to let go of that. Damn, I really am pretty vulnerable. So, but now we're getting way off the subject. But
there's no subject here. There's no fucking plan. At least we're talking about jiu-jitsu. What did we talk about for the first fucking half hour?
Yeah.
Drugs and cigarettes. And
right.
Pissing on people.
Right.
There's no plan here.
But no, but like I really don't remember like what, like if there was something that just triggered, I want to do this, I want to be MMA. There's nothing like that. I've never really had anything like that in my life. It was just like, it's a calling. Even like being a cop. I don't want to be a fucking cop. I need a job with benefits and insurance, and it just so happened I applied.
Fit the bill.
It was a joke. I was like, there's no way I'm going to pass a fucking background check. Yes. Almost 15 years later, I was like, shit, I'm still doing this?
It's funny when I heard
out of here.
When I heard on the sheriff's department, I had the same mindset. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna pass like this lie detector in the back of that. Dude, I was straight with them. Like, they thought I was a drug dealer the way I was explaining it to them. They're like, I told them like how much weed I used to smoke and how many times I took acid. Like, I was straight with them. Mm-hmm. They're like, so how many transactions did you have, buying and selling weed? I was like, I don't know. How many times has I smoked? Like, every time I smoked weed, I had to buy it.
That's those deals.
It was so ridiculous. I was like, dude, I'm never gonna get hired,
but they don't look for. So you go into those exams for like police departments and shit. They don't look for the normal person because a normal fucking human can't deal with that shit. You look for the people with some abnormalities about them and things like that. And so,
I would say all three of us probably fit the bill of having abnormalities.
That's what they do. I mean, that's true. I mean, because a normal human can't deal with the realities of life and death every day.
Yeah.
You know, or even being able to mentally prepare yourself to go out and say, oh, well, I might die today for stopping someone for running a red light. Boy, that's a good fucking reason. But, you know, you kind of mentally prepare yourself like that. Most people can't.
Yeah.
Or most people grow up wanting to, and then first time they have it being a cop, they fucking run and quit. So.
I think the same thing happens with jiu-jitsu. Is a lot of if people see the UFC or something like, oh, I want to do that. Then they come in and like, whoa, like I didn't realize I could get my ass whooped this fucking bad.
Oh, yeah. I get a call at least once a week. Yeah, I want to be a cage fighter. I'm a power lifter. And I'm
do you really?
I'm a power lifter.
Dude, you need to start recording these.
I weigh 260 pounds right now. You think you can get me down to 240? That's what I want to fight at. And I was like, first thing I told him, I said, dude, first thing is your weight is not the first thing you need to fucking worry about. You're about learning how to fight first. You know, this is what we do. This is what I offer. You know, I'm a professional about it. I hang up the phone. I'm just like, fucking idiot. He showed up. I haven't met him yet. I don't think he's came back, but I was just like, fuck, dude, are you kidding me? At least once a week I get called.
You gotta start writing these things down. The shit you hear.
Dude.
I can only imagine.
And I can only
the
imagine.
people that call gyms, that's a lot of it is like, I want to be a cage fighter or I'm a street fighter. You know, I need to
I'm a street fighter.
Yeah, I just want someone to roll with. I'm a street fighter and I need to work on my ground some. I'm going to try one of these cage fights. I'm just like, dude, you might want to call another gym.
This might not be
you're not going to be able to handle it. Sometimes you just got to be honest. Like, because of me, I'm not, like you guys will talk about it, or you hear people say, you know, jiu-jitsu's for everyone. It is, but it's not.
It's not.
No, yeah.
You can cater it to everyone, but to actually do jiu-jitsu and actually learn and do it, it's hard because the mental weakness of people. You know, just like the dude that come in the gym were you guys there that night? That day?
That guy who
the lurker.
Test for a blue belt or something?
Yeah, the lurker.
Yeah.
I was just like...
The lurker.
Yeah, like people like that is like, man, I don't know.
Has he been back?
No.
No?
He ain't going to come back. He ain't. I feel kind of... I wasn't trying to be confrontational with him, but it got to the point where I'm like, dude, you're just a fucking idiot, man. You can get the fuck out of here. I don't need your money that bad. I don't care. I'm not a money-hungry individual, so you walking out my doors right now and me not having that headache,
yeah.
Fuck that. Beat feet.
Yeah. Yeah, you run into that a lot, man. Like, people want agreement, not advice.
Yeah.
So they're coming to you and they're like, I already know what I need to do, and I just want you to agree with me and take my money. Yeah. And, you know, that's not who you are. You're like, you know, no, man. Like, I know what you need to do to get better, and if you want to do that, then I'll help you.
Yeah.
But you're not going to fit in here if you think you know what the fuck's going on, and you're not going to...
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why I try to keep that culture, like that's the culture that I like in Texarkana that we had for a long time. You know, and you'll see it at like Roller's Gym, and very few gyms I've been in is like that. You know, that's how it is. Like, no, I mean, we'll welcome you into the family, but we're not gonna just let some virus in that's a fucking retard.
Yeah.
Can you say that and not get kicked off?
No, you can say that here.
Oh, yeah. We're not
you can even say fucking retard.
Fucking retard.
Yeah.
Fucking retard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking retards out there.
There are, man.
So it's okay.
There are a ton of them. Yeah, that's I know I ran into that a lot with the fitness gym too, man. Just these weirdos coming in, and it's like, motherfucker, you don't want my help. Like, you want to feel good about yourself and somebody to agree with you, and those are the worst people for the culture.
Right.
Because like they don't believe in what's going on. Like, they're not bought in. Like, they're like, and man, you can tell. And it doesn't take. It's like the one bad apple. Yeah. Because it does. Like, once you get the little factions and shit going, and the talking and whatever. I mean, I know we have our little gym drama. I mean, everybody. You can't have a bunch of humans interacting.
Yeah,
right. Not have a little bit, but it's a close-knit group, and it stays that way.
It's been minimal, luckily.
Like
homicide?
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna happen, but
yeah, you're going to, but that's, I don't know. I mean, that's what Adam was saying. He's like, that was one of his factors in wanting to move here. I mean, it was like our gym. You know, he said he's trained a lot of places, and he hasn't found anywhere that had like kind of the same, just family vibe to it. And yeah, I think it's an important part of it. Yeah, you got to be selective because it's easy. That's why Louis Simmons, like, he's fucking, you don't pay to train at his gym. If you're an asshole, you just don't fucking train, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. You know who Louis Simmons is?
Nope.
West Side Barbell.
West Side Barbell. It's a famous.
Yeah, do I look like a meathead?
Well, he's in. You should listen to him. You would like him. Yeah. No, he's a very old school, opinionated fucker. But he's a powerlifting genius. But he's got to design the glute ham raise machine?
No, the reverse hyper.
The reverse hyper. It's like, yeah, anyways. Google it. So he's got all these patents on machines, and so he's, making all this money that way. So he owns this powerlifting gym, and it's a world famous powerlifting gym, but you don't pay to train there. You train for free, but you have to, like, he chooses who comes in, right? It's a family thing. So, and that's really, like, that's where you want to be. Like, I remember, fuck, dude, like, working at a commercial gym, when I managed a commercial gym, you got to sell so many $25 a month memberships to cover the overhead in those places that you're like, everyone come in, everyone, I need everyone, hey, whatever. And yeah, you get these motherfuckers coming in there and ruining the show for everyone, but you had to take their money. Yeah, and that's a terrible place to be. So yeah, it's that's why the environment's good. That's not, you're not doing it for the money. So
well, I am, but it's just like,
well,
I got to now.
Yeah,
it ain't a hobby no more.
No.
Pain in the ass too.
I'm glad the conversation went that way, because that was like one of the big questions I wanted to talk about today. Is because I've trained at a lot of different gyms, from jiu-jitsu gyms to CrossFit gyms to fucking commercial gyms or whatever, and like the vibe and the culture we have at our gym is, dude, second to none. I mean, it's awesome. It's a family, and that allows us to beat the shit out of each other, but we trust each other, so we can fucking go hard as shit, but there's no, ill will there, you know what I mean? Sometimes we get fucked up and hurt, but no one's doing it on purpose. Right. But we go, and so we get better. But then also, man, like, you have that close-knit group to where, like, if you're going through something shitty or fucked up in your life, like, people are checking on you, and how many conversations have I had with you guys when I'm going through some shit? Like, that's huge. And I don't know, man, that's so important for a good gym, and that culture comes from the top down. It comes from you, like, basically setting the standard, and it trickles down through us. And we have to take responsibility and kind of pass that on to new people. And I know sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I fuck up and I'm not so good at it. Or sometimes I get a little judgmental and welcome someone in the tribe real fast. It's my own personal bias. Like, I don't know if this guy's part of the tribe yet. But. So I think you do. We do a bunch of good shit at the gym, and you do a bunch of good shit. But I think that is, like, the biggest thing, is that keeping that culture and that vibe.
Yeah, I liked it. Like, in Texarkana, it was funny. I love Mark to death, and I don't know if he listens or not, but Mark's kind of he's kind of socially awkward, and so, like, I felt like I had that role at that gym, like, really. I joke around with everyone, anything like that. You know what I mean? But I want it to be open enough. I don't like, I'm not going to sell wolf tickets. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be fake with people about it inside the gym. You can't. Because for that same reason, man, if I got to trust you to, potentially hurt me or something like that, it's got to start right there, and we got to, I don't know where I'm trying to go with this. Like, you got to build it, like, right then and there. Yeah. And I think that starts when you first come through the doors and you're just welcome, and when people are like, hey, man, what's up? You know what I mean? What can I do for you or whatever? And then you start learning about the people and their nuances and things like that, and really tapping into that. So I don't know if that makes sense or not.
No, it makes good sense. I mean, because And it's not like it's an exact science, like to build that culture. You know what I mean? It's not like a checklist. You're like, okay, if someone comes in and I can say this, they say that. You know, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
And you gotta. It's kind of. I don't know. It's got to be like an intuitive process.
Yeah, it did. It started in Texarkana because a lot of people wouldn't go to Mark with their problems. Because I was Mark's honor student. I was one of his first students, and I was his first black belt. I trained with the dude until I was first degree black belt and moved to Colorado. You know, but people wouldn't go to him. Who would they go to? They go to me. And so then I'd be the one to have to go talk to Mark and be like, look, you know, this is what's going on. This is the deal, you know, or I think we should do this or that kind of thing. And so I kind of took like things I seen wrong culturally inside that gym, and then what worked real good, and then kind of when I got this place thrown on me, you know, moved it there and say, okay, this is what I want to see and how it is. And then you look like Rolly's gym is pretty close like this. You know, are you guys on their
yeah.
Or in his school's group?
Yep. I don't know if I'm in his school's group. No. I mean, I
mean, they're always fucking with each other, you know what I mean, and posting memes about each other and pictures and stuff like that, you know. And there's a lot of gyms aren't like that. There's not a lot of jiu-jitsu gyms that are like that, you know what I mean. So it's good to have that, and then it does trickle down for everyone because you walk through the doors and you can sense it. It's like, oh, cool, you know. I walked through the doors at that Gracie Baja when I moved here, and I was like, this place is fucked up. There's something wrong here. You know, so it just kind of, and you could tell, like, the way they were about things.
Yeah. You
know, and I could sense it. And you could tell, like, when I walked in, I first immediately met you guys, I immediately start fucking with you right off the bat. You know what I mean? And you do that, you got to let your own guard down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, here I am. This is how I am and what it is. If you don't like it, hey, it's all good. But this is me.
Yeah. And I remember you coming in, man. Because it's like, you know, in general, we've talked about this before. Like, there's these general rules, and generally you don't ask a higher belt to roll. You wait for them to ask you. Yeah. But you were like super quick about just being like motherfuckers. If you want to roll, ask me to roll. Like, I'm not going to sit here all day long and, like, ask people to roll. Like,
no one would come up and ask me to train. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is nonsense.
So, yeah, man.
Calling me professor and not asking me to train, this is stupid.
Yeah. That was funny, man. It, like, totally blew my my expectations for a black belt out of the water. I was like, look at this motherfucker. He's from Texas, so he sounds, you know, I'm familiar because I'm from Oklahoma. So immediately we hit it off, like, you know, just being some Southern boys stuck here in Colorado. And it was funny, man. I still remember the first time because you moved here as a cop, and so I never quite knew how you stood on the whole weed situation. And because before it was legal, you moved here like the year before or 2 years before it was legalized.
In 13.
Yeah. And so I remember the first time we were rolling, and you're not the first time we were rolling, but we were rolling one time, and you're like, you're so high all the time. How the fuck do you remember any of these moves or something like that? I don't know how you smoke so much weed and remember these moves. And I was just like, oh shit, you know?
The cop knows I'm smoking weed.
The black belt cop knows I smoke weed. I'm fucked.
That's funny.
It was funny, man. But yeah, no, I think a lot of it's just personality, man. Like, you're just, you know, that's just not who you. You know, it's hard to fake that shit, man. It really is.
You can't fake it.
No.
Well, you can, but it won't last very long.
Yeah.
It'll crumble.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're not really interested in people and you're more interested in just, like, how you can make money off of those people.
Right. It's different.
It is. You can do both, right? But one's going to be most important. They can't both be most important. You know, like, one has to be most important. And if you put helping people as the most important thing, like, again, that's just... You can't fake that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think that's the you know, kind of what you were saying. Like, when people come in, you're like, how, you know, you try to get to know them so you can figure out, can I help you and how can I help you, rather than just like, all right, I got to, you know, lead this person down the path to get them to sign this contract kind of thing and then deal with it later. And dude, dude, working in my fitness facility, there were a few people I sincerely regretted signing up like a month or two after signing them up. And I was just like, that sucked, you know? But it was because, you know, you get trained to take this, like, sales process approach. Like, you know, this is how you do it. And, there's good and bad to it, but you can take it too far. But that's definitely doesn't define our gym. I mean, I say it jokingly, but I also say it with as a compliment more than anything. Is like, I feel like our gym is more of a club than a business.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it's because I didn't go into it as a sole. Granted,
when you opened, you were still working as a full-time cop, and so
it's a hobby. It's a hobby making extra money.
Yeah,
it is a way out. I seen it as a way out of police work. Yeah, for sure. But it was still being ran as a hobby because I don't know fucking shit about running a business. I still don't know shit about running a goddamn business. You know what I mean? So it does kind of get ran as a hobby. You point that out.
Well, it's just a club.
That's not a slight.
No,
I know.
Like I said, like a club. Like it's like, there's not. It's not intimidating.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can come into like a place that's run like a hardcore business, and it can be a little intimidating versus because again we're it's a loose family culture in there. It's like we all kind of step up if something needs help. We try to step in and help, and it's it's,
well, yeah, and that's how I felt when I first walked in. I remember the first time I walked into the Gracie Baja here, and I go in and Penny was actually sitting at the desk, and I had talked to Matt and Fabio, and I was like, hey, I'm black belt, I'm gonna be moving there. Matt was in Atlanta, I think, when I talked to him, and then he said, okay, well, I'll be back. Fabio will be there one day. He'll be with Billy. And then so I go in, and Penny's at the desk, and I'm like, hey, I'm a black belt, I'm coming there. She kind of looks me up and down and stuff, and it's like, I think she goes and gets Billy, and we introduce ourselves and everything, dude. And I'm just like, oh, it's going to be one of these places, But it wasn't. I mean, everybody in there was cool, and that was the thing, right? The people. It's people in there that make the deal. And I could tell where the separation between like Matt and Billy in the distance between them as coaches and stuff in there, and is in not so much Billy because Billy really wasn't, he was a silent partner, but with Matt, like the distance in between Matt and just everybody else, and I was like, yeah, this is weird. Yeah, super weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, some places they think it's that there is Jocko's new book, The Dichotomy of Leadership. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a term he talked about in his what was his other book? The not the
Extreme
Black Man.
Ownership.
Yeah, Extreme Ownership. And it was a concept he talked about because it's like you do because you have to maintain to be a leader. You want to get close, but you have to maintain. Like at the end of the day, you're our coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so there is you do have to maintain that. But I think some places, it's a spectrum, and they take it to such an extreme of okay, I need to maintain this distance from my students, and I need to maintain this aura of I am special and you're not, so you guys have to ask me to roll all the time, and all this stuff that it's a turnoff to a lot of people, and it does poison the culture. But you see it, man, people's ego, because they get a chance to be a fucking cult leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see that in jiu-jitsu a lot. I mean, all that shit that happened with Lloyd and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know all the details, but that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, you get a little
similar to.
Yeah, man.
Try to stay up on that throne or that pedestal.
Yeah.
Put that image out there, and you gotta fucking maintain it.
Well, one of the first things I did, it might have been the second week I might have been training at the gym. I let every son of a bitch in that gym tap me out.
I missed that fucking roll.
For the
record. I remember you mentioned that. That stuck with me all these years. I remember
You're still waiting for your roll.
I was like,
well, I made it hard fights.
No, yeah.
Give up a submission. I said, look, now that that's over with, I'm no different than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now let's fucking train and smash shit out of them.
Right.
I mean, but that's over with. It's not like it's... Because I think it was strange coming in too, because there was no black belt there. Matt, the brown belt, and there was... Were you purple belt?
Purple belt,
Cameron, blue belt. You know what I mean? And some others, but...
That's about it. I mean, Dan Krenzer was there.
He was purple belt.
Krenzer was a purple belt.
Blue probably, and then got his purple. Then he got his purple eventually.
Krenzer got his purple belt when I was there.
And Tim was a purple belt.
Tim was a purple belt.
Wolf shirt.
Shirt.
He got his brown belt while I was there. Or after.
Yeah, because he got his brown belt there.
He got his brown belt there. I still remember him telling me, he's like, I don't know where my purple belt is. I don't know if you were there. We were there talking. He used it to drag some fucking stereo equipment around or something like that and like tore it to pieces. Yeah. I don't know how that story came up, man.
It sounds about right.
It was funny, but yeah, man, there weren't a whole. There was a good little group, but it was a small group. But there was people there though, because that was what was interesting though, is because guys like Tim and Rob, they didn't come up in that system. Right. And so,
or sign up under the culture that was there right then.
Right,
I could tell.
Yeah.
That fucking culture.
Dude, I remember you showing up
because they'd say like, "Hey, you gotta wear a GB."
Yeah,
and I'd walk in with my
lucky gi,
like eat a bag of dicks. Yeah. I'm gonna wear whatever gi I want over here. What kind of nonsense is this?
Yeah,
fucking so stupid.
That's funny, man. I know. I remember that. I was like, "Who is this guy?" Just shows
Matt
up.
he would get so pissed at me. He would talk to me after class like, "Hey, man, you gotta wear a GB shit." And I'm like, it's not happening. Like, I don't care what you say. Like, I can't do it. I have a bunch of gis I like to wear. I'm not fucking wearing them. I'm gonna wear whatever I want. It doesn't matter what my uniform says. Yeah. Like, we're doing jiu-jitsu. We're trying to strangle each other. Do I need a certain patch on there? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Him and I never saw eye to eye on that shit.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, I remember.
I'd wear it once in a while, but...
Yeah. I remember when they made the change, we had to wear the rash guards. Mm-hmm. I was like, you fucking kidding me? Like, I got all these shirts that I just bought, and now I gotta buy, like, GB rash guards too.
That's all the franchising.
It's just the
right.
Money part.
Yeah. See, and that's where the bad, that's what.
I can respect it, but that's personally, it's not me.
No, it's not me.
That's like when I talk to them, when I talk to Fabio, after the deal happened with Matt, and we were trying to figure out what to do. Because I told him, I said, look, man, I'll gladly stay and help. Because I knew, I was like, dude, I could change this place. I could tell the people wanted jiu-jitsu, and I knew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, man, this could be a good thing, because Gracie Baja as a whole has got a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths here, but it's not Gracie Baja. There were some things about it on the back end that were pretty fucking shitty, but it was more, Matt and Billy, you know what I mean? And, what was I talking about again? Goddamn chocolate.
It's chocolates.
You were talking about Fabio after she went out.
Oh yeah, helping at the gym.
Yeah.
And so, but why was I talking about that?
I don't know. You're just talking about trying to stick around and help out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna stick around and help out. In Fabio, they were like, "Hey, we want to bring you in into the business. You don't have to buy in or anything." I said, "Cool. Okay. What's the deal?" Because I knew by that time, I knew Billy was a silent partner and part owner in the gym.
Yeah.
But Matt and Billy always were like, yeah, it's just us two. We own it. 50-50 split on everything. Well, when I talked to Fabio, he's like, well, it would be 33, 33, 33. And I'm like, okay, who's the other 33%? He said, well, it's me. I'm like, well, where do you come into play with this when it was 50-50 with Matt and Billy? And he said, oh, well, when they started, I got them the, what was it called? You had to be a brown belt to own to have the franchise like that. Whatever their top tier franchise is that they were calling it.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have to pay franchise fees or anything. I was like, oh, okay. And I was still thinking, 33%, I'm not really, I'll just be teaching class a couple times. And, I asked him and Billy, I was like, well, what are the expectations? Because fucking Billy ain't going to teach classes as a blue belt. You know what I mean? A lot of classes, a lot of that's going to fall on me. And he's like, yeah, it'd be, you would probably teach 90% of the classes, but you would pay me to fly out for seminars and also charge for belt testing, and I would get that, he would get that money, and he would be the only one to promote students. And I sat there and I thought, does this guy think I'm a fucking idiot? You know what I mean? I told him, I said, are you kidding me? You know, it's like, I'm already a first degree black belt that I can get whatever I need done, I can get done. You know, which isn't nothing unless you want to do IBJJF stuff. You know, and I was like, I'm not going to have no one promoting students that I'm training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to tie the belts around my students. Unless it's something like, you know, like we did at Master World and Danielson and Rowley.
That's
something totally different. But if I'm doing a promotion in-house and I got someone going from white to blue belt, I'm not going to fly some fat fucker in from wherever to come fucking promote my student. You know, it just don't make sense. And then when I went and asked Billy, I said, dude, he's offering me 33, and Billy's like, where the fuck's he get that number at? It's split 50-50 with me and Matt. And I was like, well, he said this and that. And he was like, man, he's lying. I said, yeah, I'm not.
Not getting involved in this.
This ain't gonna fucking cut it.
Yeah.
I'll come in and train and help out or whatever, but I'm not getting involved in that.
And that was the birth of Grand Valley.
Yeah, 2 grumpy guys.
Yeah.
2 grumpy grapplers.
Yeah. I know, man. Yeah, you threatened to come in and go to 8th Street, and that's when I was like, all right, I got to fucking step in and do something here, or this is going to get out of control. My jiu-jitsu is going to go to shit. I'm either going to have to go deal with fucking meathead MMA guys or stay here and train under, like, you know,
Billy.
Yeah, Billy and over-promoted other people. And so, yeah, that was where I was like, well, maybe we should look at some spaces, man. Let's see if we can open up our own jiu-jitsu school.
Well, I had talked to Cameron, like all through it, like the weird stuff, I'd talked to Cameron a lot because, you know, you train both places and we're pretty open with each other. He's like, man, this place is fucked up. He said, I don't get along with most of them. I just come here to do jiu-jitsu. He was like, I mainly train with Rob and like Tim and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah. I said, this is, I don't know.
And that was how a lot of us treated of it, man. That's the only reason I was training there is because it was either that or training with the meatheads at 8th Street. And I had been down that 8th Street road because I taught jiu-jitsu there. When I first moved to town, that was the only place to fucking train. And so I started teaching a gi class there, and it was just, dude, I hated the vibe there. It was just such a fucked up place, man. So when Matt opened that place, I was like, well, it's a little bit better, but it's just a different type of fucked up. Like, god damn it. And so that it was still bodies to train with, and guys like Tim and Cameron and stuff were guys that I had known from 8th Street that I got along with, you know, that we trained together. That was it, and we were all on the same page. Like, yeah, this is kind of fucking hooey, but at least we can train.
Yeah,
you know?
I seen it was similar in Texarkana, and I think here is that like the small areas, everybody wants to be the fucking big fish. You know what I mean? And so everybody starts getting attitudes with each other or have that arrogance about them. Oh, my place is better than this, yada, yada, yada. Texarkana was the same way because, fuck, we were the only jiu-jitsu school there for a while. And there'd be like someone teaching MMA or something pop up or something like that, you know. But now I think there's 2 gyms there now. There's Mark and then some other guys. Or 3 places to train, but you know, I just think that's what does it. I think eventually what needs to happen is just like, man, everybody's here to get better. If you decide to go over there and do it, hey, man, freaking awesome if you're being a better human or just being a better human in general just by going over there and training, then they're doing their jobs on it. Yeah, it was weird here.
Yeah, but it's still kind of. Well, I mean, if you think about it, we're still the only Brazilian jiu-jitsu school here.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, I mean, there's a martial arts school that says they do kind of jiu-jitsu, but yeah, whatever. And then there's one MMA school.
Yeah, Golden Fights, which was 8th Street.
Which was 8th Street, you know, and a million different owners that fucking place has had. But that's it. I mean, you know, there's some wrestling camps that do submission wrestling here and there and MMA type stuff, but I don't think there's anybody doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wearing a gi.
It ain't Montrose.
Throwing on a gi 94% of the time, yeah.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, the guys from Montrose come train with us. Well, there's a couple other places.
15 gyms down there now.
15 gyms with like three students each.
I know.
Like, god damn it, man, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, that's weird, dude. All good though.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad we get to train with George and Chris all the time. They come down and train with us.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Heck yeah, man.
New black belt in town too. Well, kinda up in rifle.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, I figured he'd be here today.
I was hoping he was gonna be there today. He's fun to train with.
Yeah. Was he starting a school up there, or he just?
Yeah, he started
Some
school.
guy opened up a gym there.
He's not
an owner. No, he's like a paid employee.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I think he knows the guy that opened it. Used to train with him in West Virginia or wherever.
I was just making the assumption that he was starting the gym, but I didn't ask a lot of details.
He's like a paid employee, so there's probably won't be that long.
Oh, yeah.
Best of luck.
Yeah, that's a rough goal. Like hiring an instructor, a paid instructor. Like you got to have a lot of students to pay that bill. You know, to make it not a losing proposition.
Yeah.
Huh. That sucks, but that's good for us because that means you'll come train with us more.
Yeah,
maybe
if he hangs out.
Yeah.
Western Colorado.
Oh yeah, it's the worst places to be.
Oh, this place is pretty sweet.
It's pretty good. It certainly is. So, all right.
I don't know, man. I ain't got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. You got
no
any
fucking life-changing questions?
You got any fucking advice for
No
us?
life-changing questions?
No, man. You got us sitting right here, dude. You can just tell us where we're
I thought you were coming in with
up.
questions.
We're going to tell you what you're fucking up.
Yeah, what are we fucking up?
What are we fucking up? James, you got to fucking relax.
Okay, still.
At least you gave up rigor mortis guard.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Did you give it up? You gave up?
Today when we were wrestling, I was going to say something to him about it. Now it's all lower body rigor mortis. It's just his legs. I don't know where it is. He has these things where he likes to try to hold your arm or your leg and hold it with his shin. You just hold it there and thinks he's going to stop you.
Yeah, that's what fucking
He thinks it's going to stop your movement.
That's what pissed me off last night.
I don't
when I was trying to pass, you were doing, damn, I didn't think about it. It was lower body rigor mortis. Yeah. And that's when I fucking got pissed and I had to do that big back step and I slammed my heel into the mat. Now I'm icing my fucking heel.
Yeah.
Because you're lower body rigor mortis.
Lower body rigor mortis guard.
Fucking James.
Well, I have a rationale behind it as well.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I'm sure you do.
I want to hear if it's any different than the other rationales you give me for some of this shit.
Well, I'm trying to change my hips, you know, so if I can hang on and I can change my hip angle, but I get my hips stuck and then it's just like, all right, well, so there, you know, I am not. It is like more than just like old school rigor mortis where I'm just like hanging on and just like really having no plan.
Right, you're moving a little bit.
I'm trying to get my hips, you know, moving back and forth, and so that's. But I mean, I have found like if I can, you know, people will start to pin my legs together. And then it is like I'll kind of like do a little rigor mortis toe guard, and then wonder why my ankle hurts, you know. Yeah. But then if I get a little space, and all of a sudden it's that's a different fight. So that's kind of my goal. But as with a lot of things with you, there's a lot of intentions getting squashed. But yeah, relaxing is squash.
You squashed his intentions.
Yeah.
And his
pride. Oh, I thought you meant like smash you.
Well, that too.
No.
But, you know, and I'm just saying, like, I have an intention. I'm like, you know, I'm trying to do this, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You're squashing my intentions. And then something else happens as a result. But you're really good at making me do stupid shit and not even realize it's stupid shit.
It is pretty funny.
It is. It is. Like, I can tell when you get in a fucking mood and you're just like, all right, I'm going to sport submit James here. Which is what it feels like. It's like it's like a shooting gallery. It's like, all right, I'm gonna hit this one, boom. Okay, slap hands. I'm gonna hit this one, boom. And I'm like, this motherfucker's just sport submitting me at this point. Like, so. Anyways.
No, it's good. Both you guys are doing good. Everybody is. The growth of everyone, especially like the people that, you know, we were talking about Gracie Baja, not shitting on what training they were doing there. But like the growth of everyone who started there, if you look, that's all the higher belts now, right?
Yeah.
Rob, you, Cameron, who else? Angela,
the reluctant purple belt.
Yeah, Corey and Brian's fat fuck asses. If they get back to the gym.
Yeah, you guys listening?
Yeah, fucking lazy bitches. Who else?
That's it. Mahler shows up to like 3 classes every 2 weeks.
He shows up for open mats. He don't warm up.
He's the monster, man.
He rolls around and you don't see him for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
That's how Mahler does it.
He's actually was going to be your first guest.
Was he? The Mahler?
Yeah, and we were going to get him to talk real estate. nonstop.
That's right. We're gonna get them wound up on rental houses.
It would not be hard. You can get them wound up and going, man.
That's right.
It'd probably be more entertaining and educational.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. We're doing all right, but yeah, no, I mean the people that stick around. I mean that's like the cool thing again, like with our gym is like you bring in so many fucking great people to help us train.
Yeah, Jamie was good, wasn't he?
Jamie's good. And yeah, Jamie was real good.
Dude, I hit that back take from close guard today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good,
the
man.
back take, that's what I've been calling it.
Which one was it?
The one where you get like both underhooks
Oh,
and you get the
yeah.
lapels, and then you start like kind of like inverting for the pendulum sweep, but if they shift their weight back, you just come out the back.
Yeah.
I've been doing like a little different version of his, but it's basically the same. I mean, same thing.
Principle's the same.
Principle's
yeah.
all the same. It fucking works, dude.
Yeah, his armbar setup too, man.
Yeah, they're...
like I've gotten so lazy with it. I just have to control, and then I don't even get any other fucking grip. I just hug their arm. And if I get to here, and all of a sudden I've got like their elbows trapped in my hip, and it's pinned like right here because I'm able to connect this right here,
Yeah.
and their elbow's stuck there, and then I've got my angle, and dude, yeah. But again, just like bringing people like that in and getting exposed to these little details and all these little things that they do.
Yeah, everybody's different. And at those levels, it's like, it's funny because like, I was telling Jamie, I said, man, you're kind of fucking everybody up. Oh. And he was like, how? And not talent-wise or anything like that. Well, like, that's a gimme. You know what I mean? Dude was awesome. But I said, because everybody was expecting Danielson. Everybody was expecting to get passed, mounted, cross-choked to death, wrist locked to where you can't jack off anymore, or armbarred. Yeah. Right?
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
That's your three. That's it.
With a calm face the whole time, no expression changes.
And no mouth breathing.
Yeah. Yep. Right? But then people train with Jamie, and Jamie was speed. It was pressure, but it's different. It wasn't that grinding like I'm gonna be here. Yeah, because it was funny because he mounted me once and went to cross choke me. I just laughed. I said, "There's no pressure here. I'm getting the fuck out of here." Sure enough, I get out, but I'm getting the shit choked out of me on my back. It's just that different thing and a different approach to it for those guys at those level of competitors and just athletes in general. It really does. And it does. I think it's good because, you take someone like me, something of like Danielson's game more works with me. But you take someone like, who would be like Jamie? Brett's dumbass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You take athletic.
Just that athletic
move.
Not calling you dumb, Brett, if you're listening, but
it's an endearing term. If you figured it out by this point,
bless your heart. So, you know what I mean? That athletic that can play with that, like that loose game and run speed around and stuff like that.
Yeah. Kind of turn more into that. I don't know. Like water's not because again, like Pimenta can do that, but it was like that was the thing I noticed, man. Like there were times when there was a scramble and I'm watching Jamie move, and it was like I don't know how like a visual of just like something like fluid, he just like turned into a fucking fluid object and was just like moving around them, and all of a sudden boom would just materialize and get hard again.
Right.
And so but his movement was definitely a little more on like that speed and fluid side.
Yeah.
Because I told you, man, I've said this before. Like that was one of the most mind fucked rounds I've ever had in my life. Because I'm like halfway through and I realized like I'm rolling like a complete dumbass because I'm waiting to get smashed, and because I'm waiting to get smashed, I'm not rolling. I'm not doing anything, and it's not coming. And then it was funny, man. But it is.
That's a hard thing to deal with, man. Is when you know the ass whooping's coming, but still trying to open up and try shit. Yeah, it's tough. I
don't think that way. I don't think like even if I go train with anyone, I don't think it's like I know the ass whooping's coming. I don't approach it like that. I approach it like let's fucking go. It's gonna happen.
See,
you know what I mean?
I try not to, and I have days and moments where I can shut it off. It's no big deal. I'm just like, fuck this motherfucker, I'm coming. Mm-hmm. But then there's other days like, God damn it, like I can't shut it off. Like I know that I can.
I see it in your eyes. It's funny because there's times you'll go with me and you'll be like, you're going. And the minute I reverse you something, it's gone. It's a fleeting moment and you shake your head and you go, fuck.
Dude, I know exactly. Yeah.
Well, I know, like I can picture the shit in my head. Like I said, I can have those mental fights with myself. I know that happen when I'm training because I can be in that aggressive. Fuck this guy, I'm coming.
You'll even see me laugh at you when you do it.
And then when my soul gets snatched from me, and then the life leaves from my eyes, it's like, yeah, fuck, here it comes. I'm getting fucked up.
I know, man. It's funny. I'm sure you can tell I do the same thing. I can tell there's a point where I'm like, fuck, I'm fucked. I let him get too far.
Yeah.
I let him and I just know I'm fucked, and it's like I'm trying to fight out, but it's like the harder I fight, the harder it's coming back, and then it's hard, man. It's hard not to like that. For me, that's one of the hardest things that I would deal with is like because both you guys, you guys when you want to come, like fuck, it's hard for me to. And it's like, okay, being realistic versus, being confident. And, it's a mind fuck, man.
It is.
It is.
It's a little bit of a mind fuck.
That's what I was talking to Nelson one time. We were just over there. I don't remember what it was. He did something to me. I think he hit me with like a nasty-ass Kataguruma or something like. Thud me, and we sit down, and he just looked at me. He goes, "Jiu-jitsu's funny." I was like, "Fuck you, dude! You shit's funny. Fuck out of here, man."
And coming from him too, like knowing him, like, I can see that. Like, you motherfucker.
That's exactly in his horrible English. He's like, "Jiu-jitsu's funny." I was like, "Fuck
dude, he's
you,
funny, man. He's got
Let's go."
It is funny, man.
But like that's the part of that beauty of jiu-jitsu is because that is like a mental weakness, not being able to be like a beaten dog waiting for that ass whooping. Because if you beat a dog too much, every time a human raises his hand, he cowers. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. And he take enough ass whoopings, it's hard to not be like that abused dog. Like, fuck, here we go. And so then you don't try anything. And that's just a glitch in your fucking brain. Like, you got to just, okay, I can do this. All I got to do is the right shit.
That's where, like, I find, like, for me, like, fatigue, like, because I was only halfway joking last night when you were like, "Are you ready to go?" And I was like, "I was ready 3 rounds ago." Like that was what I meant was like I'm so fatigued right now that I know that as soon as I get in a bad position, it's just so fucking hard, and like fatigue makes cowards of us all. It's like I know what to do, but I don't have the energy to do it, knowing that there's going to be a fight. Yeah. And that's where that's where it really becomes hard. I mean, I told you we were rolling the other day, and I was like, that's where it really becomes tough. I get tired, and I start doing shit that I know I shouldn't do, and that's where I get really pissed at myself, and I get really frustrated because I'm like, I know what the fuck to do, but I'm just.
But the stupid thing is a little easier.
In that one moment, it's easier, and then the rest of the moments after that, it's not. It's harder, and you're just like. Fuck, but that fight's there, and you're just like, anyways, I know. That's where it gets, tough, man. But it is. I find fatigue plays a big role in that. Like, if I feel fresh and I'm good, it's like I can go. Yeah, but as soon as I start to feel tired and you get stuck in that position, it's like, God damn it, man. All right, where's my safety spot?
Yeah, I guess I always just approached overdo. I would always overdo it. Like, even now. If I get tired... If I get tired and someone gets the best of me, it's like, all right, let's go. Let's keep going. We're just going to keep going. I won't quit.
Why do you think that works for you? Are you building like the mental toughness there, you think?
I think I'm trying to work through it, being fatigued. It's like, okay, I'm probably going to end up in the same position again because the deal is, you just caught me with this doing that thing right there. So, I'm tired. You're probably going to end up doing it again. Especially like when you guys, here's the deal, it feeds into your ego a little, right? It's like, I just got this on them. Probably going to be able to do it again. You'll go right back to do it again. So I know I'm probably going to have to defend it again when being tired. So like, fuck it, let's go then.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That's the goal, man. That's where we want to get. But that's where training comes in. It just takes fucking time. I don't know, you don't want to make excuses, but at the end of the day, like, fatigue's a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like your body. That's why your body is trying to protect you, right? Like it senses that something's changing. Your hormone, something's off, and so that's why you start getting shut down. You can't go, and that's where like you train, and then you come back and you train a little harder the next time, and train a little harder the next time. Because man, that's the thing too, though, is I can look back and I can see. Obviously, I'm able to fight out of positions better now than I could when I was first started, right? So even though you guys are going to get me, I'm able to, so I can see, like, so there is, it's like, you can't just not try. You got to keep fucking fighting. Like, that's, even though you know that, like, at the end of the day, you're probably going to get taken out, but it's, that's where you get better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that's...
You got to put yourself in those situations.
You have to. Yeah. It can get overdone for sure. Because, I mean, that's where you open yourself up to injuries.
Yep.
I mean, there is that fine line. Because I think it's like I forget what the fuck I was thinking about this morning, actually. It's funny that this got brought up. Because there is a concept in your traditional martial arts of, like, testing your spirit. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that all the time. And so like these, and a lot of the training would be more in that like kind of moderate thing. And so that's kind of what we're talking about. But like, you got to test your spirit. You have to. That's part of fucking martial arts. And, if you're always rolling with the same people that you feel protected with, or you start to get tired and you're like, okay, I'm done, rather than just fucking going. Like, yeah, it's like, that's where you progress, man. That's where you get better. I think that's why we got that culture at our gym. Like, we roll, like, we roll fucking hard, and it's like, it starts from the top, man. You're the first person on and the last person off still.
Try to be. I've always been that way. I'm the worst. I gotta have the most terrible jiu-jitsu ever to train as long as I have.
I don't know about that. What's that say for us then? I think you're being a little too humble.
It's getting better.
I think it's doing all right.
It is, man.
It's getting better. We just got to shit, dude. It's shit bad when I moved here. Just because the training part, I didn't have training partners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I remember Marcelo Garcia talked when he first opened his gym. He didn't have none of it's Marcelo Garcia. Wasn't no one gonna push him or anything, so he had to do everything on the other sides. I mean, for God's sake, you guys didn't even know how to pass a guard fucking standing up when I got here.
Yeah.
We were sliding around on their knees. I was like, what the fuck's going on in here, man?
Hey, I'll argue. I never did that fucking nonsense. That fucking knee wrestling bullshit that they try to make you do. Like, that shit drives me insane still to this day. I see two people fucking slap hands, start wrestling on their knees. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, do not wrestle on your knees. That is the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever fucking seen in any gym in my entire life. Fucking knee wrestling. You're not gonna do that in the real world. You're not gonna do that at a fucking jiu-jitsu tournament. Who the fuck came up with knee wrestling? So goddamn stupid, man.
I don't know, man.
It's so stupid.
I still think of that every time I see somebody doing that.
But
like somewhere Rob's cringing.
Yeah,
fucking cringe.
It's getting better though. But it's because everybody else is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Man, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, dude, you've been training. Like, I've been here. I'm like, man, I've been training for like almost 6 years, and then I'm like, fucking Kevin's been training for that same 6 years. Like, how the hell am I ever supposed to catch up on that motherfucker?
Yeah.
So, I ain't. No, man. I've been. It's funny you mentioned that.
Change your
like, I was.
Fontaine,
I was thinking about that.
Fontaine. Oh fuck.
That is funny, man. No, man. On a long enough timeline.
No, but it's good. Like, but that's what I want. That's what I need. I need, like, for my own self, I need to get tapped. I need the hard rounds and the hard fights.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying, man. I'm coming for you,
I
motherfucker.
try to fucking smash you every time. It doesn't always work out, but I try.
You did last night. Fucking put the thunder kick, kangaroo kick of death on.
Yeah, dude, you did the fucking head.
That's a push sweep.
No. That's a fucking push.
That is a push sweep.
You kicked the living
There may
fuck
be
out
a
of me, dude.
slight-
I laughed. I laughed hard I laughed when you done it.
But the thing is, like, that
You do it every time we train.
That ain't the first time I've done that to you.
You do it every time we train.
I know. So you should have a better base in that position by now. You should know that the thunder kick of death is coming, and I'm gonna fucking sweep you
Normally
over.
you don't kick. You just try to push and I pass.
Maybe I was a little overzealous
This
last night.
time you kicked the
That
fuck
could
out.
be. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it didn't. I replayed the event in my head. I still don't think I'd call it a kick. But I can see how it could be misconstrued as a kid.
You sound like Z right now. That's what you sound like after he kicks his sister. He's like, wasn't a kick.
It wasn't a kick, it was a push.
Yeah, it was an aggressive leg tap.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
But no, it's good because, you know, like, you give me problems. You've tapped me out before. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's not like I can train and be like, there's no threats. You know what I mean? Like Randy. Fuck
Randy's
that
a
dude.
motherfucker.
Fuck that dude.
I love training with him.
Oh, yeah,
solving that puzzle, dude. That's a good fun.
I gotta be like I've only trained with him not too much recently just because my fucking elbows, because it is like dude's grip strong and he's strong. Fuck, I'm not that strong. It takes a lot for me to yank out. My elbows get to hurting.
Yeah.
But
the overhook of death.
I don't hang out in his guard or nothing.
No, you can't.
No.
I avoid his
He
close
calls guard, you stand up.
I avoid that close guard like
Whatever,
my life depends on it.
Yeah.
Now you can fight
Yeah.
Randy.
Yeah. No, me too.
To his left.
There's a couple things.
But him, Al's body type is the worst for me. Like Al, Jamie, like fucking Rolly's body type, long.
Well, even like Brazilian
guys,
Nick,
I don't
that
like
he's kind of got that long, lanky body type. That's a bitch to deal with, man.
Yeah.
It really is. And fucking limbs are longer than you think.
They are.
Well, the deal is, so like, you know, I play half guard and stuff like that, but I go to grab a leg and like where a normal person's leg is, I'm like reaching up the inside of their thigh and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, there's just the long people are tough. That and when they base in posture, the shoulders and everything are so high that it's hard to break them down. So Al's a motherfucker. Al's a huge human being.
I haven't seen old Al in a while.
He was here all this week.
Was he?
He left yesterday to go fucking some.
How's his wrist doing?
It's good. We trained pretty hard one day. We did.
Oh, already?
Yeah, I think we went probably 30 minutes of rolling pretty hard.
Training hard though? Because last time I seen him, he was still like, I think he started a race on it.
No, we were going pretty hard.
Oh, that's good.
Nice,
good.
yeah.
That's good he's back.
Yeah, he's been down for a while with that thing.
His wrist. And
Yeah.
you killed him, dude.
I did. I fucking chi punched his wrist.
No, that was your fault.
Yeah, he was trying to Kimura me, and I
right.
used my chi defense, and you know he tapped me before it was able to tear his wrist apart. But no, dude, I don't know what the fuck happened. Yeah, he was Kimura-ing me, and you know I was trying to defend it. I wasn't like being like totally ridiculous, but yeah, it was like I tapped, and right when I tapped, he I don't remember, dude. It felt like fucking Velcro ripped in my ear. Like, I kept trying to get it across to him because he was in denial about it forever. He's like, my wrist is, it's fine. I mean, I kept trying to like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, that sounded like a wet towel. Like, I've never heard that sound. Like, that sounded fucking bad. And yeah, man, what was it, tendon or something? What was it? Or
he ended up having to get he's got a rod in his wrist.
Yeah,
some shit.
Yeah, something bad. Again, I don't know how the fuck he did it, but yeah, he tapped me out, and like right as I was tapping, I heard like rat, and he was like, "Oh, my wrist," and I'm like, "Your wrist? What about my shoulder, man?" Like, but yeah, it's fucking.
I don't know why this just come to me.
Oh no.
But no, when we were talking about the culture of gym and stuff, it's just like I think one of the big things about it is the large amount of women we have. Why, I have no idea. Like, we got a shit ton of women that train, jiu-jitsu, and it was weird because even back home, I think for the 13 years I trained with Mark, one female blue belt.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, back in my school in Michigan,
none.
Very few girls did jiu-jitsu. I mean, nowhere near like what we got now.
And how many? So I got. How many blue belts? Like 3 or 4. 4 or 5 purple belts now.
5 girl purple belts, yeah.
Is it 5? Angela.
And then the 4 horsemen.
The 4 horsemen.
Death.
Death.
And Vicky.
And Vicky, that's right. 6.
Yep.
So, they
And
might have more purple belt girls than guys, man.
There is.
Yeah.
There is, right?
There is, yeah.
Well, there's you,
me,
Mahler
and
Nate,
and Lawyer John,
and Brazilian Nick,
C.
Josh.
Yeah, we got.
All right, we got more boys.
We got more.
All right.
What?
Barely though, man. Like that's.
Like, there's enough women there, like, and they all compete and stuff, which is cool. You know what I mean?
And we train hard with them.
Yeah, and they go well. And I tell guys too, like when they get visitors and stuff, and they'll like wrestle like Kelly or Nadia. You know, I'll be sure and tell them to say, hey, she's gonna grab you. You're gonna feel like a man's grabbing you.
Yeah.
Just remember that it's still a woman grabbing hold of you, slinging you around. So,
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, what's really funny is that probably the first black belts that I promote from white to black that started with me, like didn't like not a GB or anything like that, will be women.
That's pretty sweet.
I don't think there's anyone else. It's all the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if they make it.
You think having? Cause I think you were headed down this route with that thought process. You think having that many girls in the gym like changes the culture of the gym?
Yes.
Is that what you're headed? Like,
yeah, it does because it's not as you can call it meatheady, testosterone filled, whatever. It's not that bad. But the problem is when you get a bunch of women in one place, it's a bunch of damn cackling hens, and then honestly, most gym drama revolves around women.
Right.
100%. I would say 98%.
It's probably good.
I want someone to come out there with a number that's
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see
track the incidents in your gym. Yeah.
But that is it. Whether it's eternal bickering between women, you got to diffuse or whatever.
But that's just the nature of.
That's human.
But
that's human nature.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got like a unique, like the girls that we have are pretty unique because I mean the thing is we've got a like they are part like I don't know how to put it right like because you're right like it's not as testosterone fueled in there because we got a team mom. You know, for Christ's sake.
But most of our girls are pretty athletic.
But by the same token, right? Like it's not. It's like we can still like we're definitely a dude culture in there.
Well, I think, but that's just the sport itself.
Right.
There's a lot of alpha females.
Right. Yeah. But I just mean like a lot of girls come in, and you know, especially in today's culture, and it's like they want to try to change us. Like they don't want men to be men. You know what I mean? And they want to, you know, and so, you know, we crack raunchy jokes and they crack raunchy jokes back. And, you know, it's like they understand that like this environment is what it is and they're not trying to change it and they're able to embrace it and become part of it. And that's unique. Like really like you know, especially in today's culture, there's the percentage of women that are able to do that. And really happily coexist with men and not be like, you know, you can't be a man because you're offending my womanhood kind of thing. It's tough.
That's it's funny. I don't know if Keely listens or not. But, you know, she's not like a reverend, but she works for a church. Type of, she's pretty religious Southern Baptist type thing. You know what I mean? So I do tread around her like I won't try to do nothing too offensive. But she is Southern Baptist, so fuck it.
She's figured it out. Like I mean, I haven't talked to her much.
But you know, she's been training a while, so she knows how it is.
She sees how our culture is to where we may be a little rough around the edges, but we're not doing it offensively. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's no ill will to it. Like, I remember just me being me. I wasn't even thinking about it. Like one of the first nights she was there. They got done training and we were over like by our gym bags changing. I was like, oh, so I just started talking to her like, hey, you just moved here or are you visiting or you know what's a scoop? And she told me she moved here and I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. And she looked at me like her eyes got all big, like she was little. But I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards somebody told me like, oh, you know, she's kind of religious and shit. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't act like that. And I was like, no, fuck that. Like. And she's learning that we don't mean anything by it.
I don't think she's like.
She doesn't get offended by it.
I don't think she's hyper like the mommy dearest religious.
No. And like I said, we're rough around the edges, but there's no ill will behind the roughness. Yeah. It's just we're all just being who we are. It's relaxed and it makes it for a fun environment. You know, I never thought about all the chicks in the gym kind of changing the culture, but I think it's good. It does because. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a fucking meathead. I know I am, and if I can get super aggressive and just angry like really fast. Like it's not. But then if you hear like, because a lot of times you hear the women wrestling, they're having fun. They're over there kind of giggling with each other, talking.
They say the more foul shit. of me, but I'll walk around looking at stuff and I hear what they're saying. And I'm just like, oh my god.
But just hearing them talking over in the corner or laughing, like it just kind of lightens the mood a little bit.
Yes.
And I think that's good. That's good, because if not, we're just all in there trying to murder each other. It gets a little intense.
I think too, like having good female training partners, it's good. It makes you better, because one, like,
you don't want to beast mode through shit.
Yeah. You really learn how to train. Like, to be good at training with like, girls make you better at jiu-jitsu if you use them as good training partners. And it's like, it's good for just letting the ego go, because it's like, hey man, if they get you in a good, like, if they tap you, they tap you, and it's like, if you had to beast mode the fuck out of it, like, if you had to. So it's like, letting that ego go, just learn how to keep that volume knob down. I mean, shoots, I was rolling, I think it was Deborah last night, and got in a position, and all of a sudden I realized, like, I got my volume knob up a little higher. I need to, like, but again, it's hard because, like, she's another one. She's strong as fuck. Yeah. You get going with some of them, and you're like,
there's a reverse to that too, and I've talked to the girls about, because someone goes, well, I'm being muscled. And I'm like, let me tell you something. First of all, you're every bit as strong as that dude you were training with. You know what I mean? And if he's got to get out and muscle, he's going to get out and muscle. Where you're hurt? No. So don't go bitching and saying, oh, he's just muscling. I'm being muscled around. Well, goddamn, Nadia grabs hold of you, dude, and tries fucking... There's no technique to that at all, especially if she hadn't been training in a while. Jesus Christ, dude, and she's trying to fucking ragdoll everybody. It's like...
Yeah, she's one in particular I've had that talk with. Good. I had to beat her like she was a man. I had to just smash her.
She didn't give a shit.
No, but then I was like, do you understand why I did that? And she's like, no. I was like, listen. I was like, you're trying to outmuscle me. I was like, if you were using technique on me, I was like, we're gonna play technique. But if you're trying to outplay the game of muscle, I'm gonna reciprocate, play the game of muscle, and you're gonna lose. Like it's just what's gonna happen. Right. Like technique. Like don't try to outmuscle somebody that you're gonna get outmuscled by. Like you just it's not.
That's normal for anybody starting jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's normal.
You don't know who you can outmuscle.
It's just a lesson.
That is your technique at first.
That is your technique.
That was the birth of rigor mortis card.
But I mean, that's just a lesson you got to learn as it goes. But I think training with women does help, because it does. You got to turn that volume knob down and use technique. And there's stuff. Yeah, I mean, our chicks.
There's times I'll tell them I'll muscle out of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
It's like, okay, if I'm gonna sit here and there's a point to where the technique's matched.
Yep.
Right? You're doing a good technique. You know what I mean? And I can't do that. That's the only way I can get out. Use technique to get out. Sometimes technique just ain't gonna fucking work. Sometimes you just gotta fucking
strength matters.
The fuck out.
Strength is a technique. And timing your explosive move. To go. It's a physical sport.
Because I'm not gonna bitch about you powering out of something and just say, oh, because you're a woman. Look at Kelly's traps.
The gun's on her right now.
Yeah, I guarantee you, we could go get under a bench right now and she'd probably do double.
Dude, I know, man. Sometimes I feel bad wrestling with my wife. I gotta be mean to her. There was like one time she swept me.
That was funny. You did get mad. Like one time he was really going after her because I was pumping her up. About
dude, she
him and
fucking
stuff.
swept me in front of him, and he started, dude. And I was like, God damn it.
He ankle locked her real fucking hard. She got mad. There was some tension after that. I was like, oh, there's going to be some talking tonight.
There's going to be some talking tonight.
Nah, it's all good.
That's awesome.
I know.
Because she got up, walked off. She was mad. He did ankle lock her pretty hard.
That was funny.
I bet if I ask her about it, she'll remember it.
She'll remember it, I'm sure, man. Nah, it's funny. Usually we're good, but yeah, I mean, I gotta watch, man. If I get too deep with her, she gets like double sleeve grips, and I'm like, I can't break those grips like the normal way. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, let's either get swept or be mean. Yeah. So sorry, baby. So
being mean.
At this point, especially now she's got a purple belt.
Yeah, dinner's already in a crock pot.
That's right.
There's loads of sourdough on the bread on the counter. I can eat that for dinner.
I don't gotta worry about that. No, man. Yeah, but yeah, we got some girls, dude. You sleep on them for a second, and
you get fucked up.
Yeah, quick, man. Just like shit.
Who's that? Deborah almost choked the shit out of Danielson.
Yep.
Some weird ass choke she invented on the fly or something. I don't know. And he was like, man, she almost choked the shit out of me, dude. I was like,
they should slip a lemon in weird spots.
where most people can't. And you're like, why is this leg here?
Why is that leg there? I know.
It's like Randy.
Man, dude, I know.
Oh my
his
God.
legs will end up in spots too, and I'm just like, how is this fucking possible?
I had today, I took his foot because he was balled up and I was driving his shin under his throat and I was I was laughing. I was like, man, I should try and choke him with his own fucking shin.
I did the same thing to him last night. I was passing him this way, and his right leg came in, and I had this one like underhooked, like kind of like a stack pass, and I was stack passing him so hard to this side that this shin was up in his throat, and this leg was like collapsed over top of it, and he was chill with it. I'm like, dude, I stopped. I was like, man, is this cool? He's like, yeah, I'm good.
Good. Yeah.
Like, all right, man. Most normal people can't bend like that.
Oh man, I know. I was sitting there. I was trying to pass his guard the other day. I was like, I stopped for a second. I'm just like, what the fuck do I do with that leg? That top leg just. And if I let go of the bottom leg to try and control that top leg, he's just gonna sit up on me. And it's like, what the fuck do I do? So, anyways, yeah, it's but yeah, people I think slip those legs in because you do everything else right, and all of a sudden it's like, and the tough thing with him is he's fucking strong, and so he can make space, and he's so flexible that he doesn't need much space at all, and it's almost like damn near impossible if he really wants to make space for him to make space, and. Yeah, that's like the conundrum for me. So, anyways, it's a good thought puzzle, man. We got a lot of good training partners, you know. And
right now there's a lot of good people moved here and stuff.
Well, that's the cool thing is like everyone didn't. Yeah, like everybody comes up in the same system, and you get like we've got like you and you and we've got so many people. Adam, Randy, like so many people, especially higher belts.
Are you talking about our heavyweight, Adam?
Yes,
right.
Yes, yeah, our light heavyweight there.
No, heavyweight.
Yeah, he's going to heavyweight?
I think he's going to heavyweight. Last time I was wrestling.
He's past 205?
I think he might be heavyweight.
Okay.
He's pretty heavy.
He's pretty heavy.
Well,
just want to throw that out there.
Anyways, but everybody comes from a different background, different place, and you take all that shit and you dump it in our gym, and then you start bringing in these world-class guys like Pimenta and Canuto and Rolly and all that stuff, and dude, it's like, we got a fucking crazy little lab going.
It's going good.
Yeah. You wouldn't think it, man, for a little town in western Colorado.
Danielson will be back in January. I think it is. Yeah, he's bringing the kids back too.
Is he?
For Arthur
and Camille both?
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, for paying kids. And then, who else? I don't remember. Someone else I was talking to. A couple people about bringing up. So,
nice.
It'll be good next year.
Yeah.
Got a few.
Just keep spanning the arsenal, man.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. I say we call it a wrap. That's almost 2 hours deep.
Okay.
Got any parting words of wisdom for us, Coach?
Never quit.
Never quit. Hey,
Never
that sounds
quit.
familiar.
Yeah.
Never quit jiu-jitsu. It can open up awesome doors, and you guys are doing a good thing with this, so keep it up.
Thanks,
Well,
man.
appreciate
Because
that.
I see some stuff on Facebook, people post like podcast recommendations, and someone will say Grumpy Guy BJJ.
Nice.
Like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he listening to them?
We're spreading.
Because that's what I put on one of them. I second it, and some guy said, "Oh, you're the Kevin that they bitch about."
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, we bitch about you.
That's right.
Many of our episodes have started like, yeah, I got my ass whooped by Kevin today.
Yeah, especially on.
Dude, I get my ass kicked by y'all every fucking class. I think that's what like people don't realize that even if like I'm winning or you guys say I'm smashing out, you like I'm having to work. It's not like when we first started and it's like, oh, this is fucking easy. This is horrible. You know what I mean? Even with you, I could tell like the gap in it just because there really wasn't good jiu-jitsu here. The gap in it was like crazy. So
no, there wasn't good jiu-jitsu here. That's why I was fucking driving to Denver a couple times a month to train with people because there wasn't good jiu-jitsu here. I did that for years when I was living here. And I was driving there, training, trying to learn, and come back here and trying to teach. And yeah, there wasn't. It was a weird little void.
Yeah, man. I know. It's weird how
we fixed it. You fixed it.
It's interesting how it all came together. Like, I know. I got fucking involved with jiu-jitsu. Like, it's funny, man. I look at I got started in November, And then February, I got my first journal up there, and I noticed like all of a sudden, fucking Kevin's name starts popping in my journal.
When I moved here. Yeah, probably February.
Yeah.
I moved here in February.
So yeah, November, December, January. So it's probably like 4 months. I think I made it through because their curriculum was a 4-month, 16-week curriculum.
You
So
had
I think
like 1 or 2 stripes, I think.
yeah, I think I'd made it through the
I
curriculum
remember you had
once.
like a big long ass belt too, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Long-ass white belt.
I didn't realize
Did you?
it was long. I didn't know
It's
any
funny
better.
You remember that?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know either.
It's funny.
You're like all the better to fuck you up with. Look at that long old tail.
And Krenzer. Like I honestly don't remember much about the Gracie Baja stuff, like training over there at all.
No.
I think I just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember wrestling with
that.
Krenzer and Cameron quite a bit, and Tim,
No.
and then some people like Nick Henney and all that. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Nick. Forgot about.
He started there.
He started there. That's right. He was the guy that taught me not all white belts are created equal.
They're not.
No, man. 'Cause
I
I remember.
come from a college wrestling.
No, dude. Yeah, because they didn't have any of those in the class, and then he shows up, and I've been training for a couple months, and I'm like, oh, I've been through half the curriculum, and this fucking kid is like, it's like, oh, where'd you learn to do that shit?
Oh, that's cute.
Oh yeah.
How's
Well, I
this
mean,
double A
if you
feel?
look at all those people that were there when I moved here, they'd all be purple belts right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they all are, except for no one.
No. Yeah, Henny's got his purple belt. And Corey got his, and
Probably just like Ray.
yeah,
Really ain't the.
yeah. But he's where does he live?
He
might
lives
be
up in like Craig or some
Meeker.
fucking thing.
okay. Yeah.
That's a drive.
Still, man, yeah. He's fucking. When he shows up, man, I'm always impressed. Dedication to the cause.
But I do think everyone that started GB that's is purple belt
Yeah.
or higher.
Yeah. They stuck around. Lost a few of the homies. Well, Josh, he was there. Yeah, I don't know.
Josh
Francis,
I
He
forgot.
didn't start over there, did he?
Yeah, he did. CrossFit Josh started it.
yeah, he was there when I
GB,
when I moved
yeah.
here.
Was he?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he didn't start until he started with us.
I can't remember C. That's the fucking funny thing. I look at pictures of GB and I'm like, I see him, right? And I'm like, I can't remember that motherfucker to save my life being at Gracie Baja. I just remember him showing up at Grand Valley.
Yeah,
And
that's funny.
that is
I
funny.
guess I don't remember him being there either.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I think he was training.
I remember training with him at A Street.
Yeah, I
C would
think
come
he
and
was
train with us at
training
A
at.
Street.
Goddamn, what's their names? What was the other guys here?
The other guys. What other guys?
Crest. Con.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's where C started out.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. I think I remember that. I think he was training there. But, anyways. Yeah, man. There's been a few people that followed us over, but dude, it was us. I got that picture of our first night when we got our mats. And it was the 3 of us and Cameron.
You taking a selfie?
Yeah. It was like, so I remember it was our first fucking official night. We just gotten the mats laid down. It's the 4 of us.
I don't even think they were taped yet.
Probably not.
Probably not, man.
It's straight.
Yeah, dude, that was it. So it's cool looking back though, because it started just the 4, just us 3 and Cameron, 4 people. It's grown to quite a good,
how many students
group.
We had quite a few. We got a lot of good training partners, man. It's a good thing.
Yeah, and Cameron's doing awesome with the bang stuff too.
Yep.
So that's been good. He's doing real good with that. He needs to be training jiu-jitsu more though.
Yeah, Cameron.
I know he listens. Stop being a bitch.
Stop being a fucking bitch. Yeah.
Brown belt bitch.
That's another main reason we do this podcast is talk shit to people. They can't talk shit back.
That's right.
It's fucking amazing.
That's right.
It's so much fun.
Fucked up Adam's whole world when he realized that we could do that.
Yeah.
We can say whatever we want about that fat motherfucker.
Cameron's so sensitive though. He's a sensitive fuck. He might get offended.
That's gonna offend him right there. We love you, Cam. Stop being a bitch. Yeah. Do some more jiu-jitsu.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
That's right.
That's right. All right,
Okay.
man.
Well, on that note.
Words of wisdom. Never quit.
Never quit.
I like that jiu-jitsu's funny.
Yeah, man.
Never. It is.
I know, dude. Pimenta, he is so laconic with his fucking words. Is better for me, my friend.
No good for you.
He's no good for you.
You have a problem.
You have a problem. Dude, his one-liners are the best.
Well, dude, one of my favorites, though, dude, this is no good for you, my friend. He said that to me so many times when we were wrestling. But also the last time I was here, when I looked at him, I was like, "Me siento forte," which is I feel strong. I feel strong today. He whooped my ass, and he looked at me. No forte. And just walked away. Like no grin, no nothing. He was just like,
no forte.
I was like, this motherfucker.
That dude's a character, man.
If I could whoop his ass, I would. God damn it.
All right, well.
All right.
There we go.
Cool.
On that note.
So, day.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
I'll do it again.
All right, see you fuckers later.
Yeah, see ya.
See you.
Thank you for listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It really does help and will allow us to keep putting out episodes. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, hit us up at grumpyguybjj@gmail.com. Also, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com, and get signed up for podcast updates and get our free BJJ Improvement Starter Kit. That's it for now. So get on the mat, train hard, and talk to you all next week.
Down clown with a permanent friend, a hermit now, fool. Doggy stool, foggy, cool, got a froggy outside Molly dude. Melancholy Daisy Duke, hanging by the lace of their shoes. No trace of the tools, shaped in your face, fuck the rules. Snooze, you lose. One eye always open, in times two, no clue, but soon a brief monsoon might give you a view to choose. Stay tuned, include, won't conclude. To the end is near, beware there's consequences for what you do. To me, demon, a devil of many levels, I keep on feeding.